YouTube. Here we go. All right, there we go. We are live on all platforms. Aloha and welcome to those of you who are watching this. Sending you guys good vibes. Thank you so much for joining in for another one of our Inspirational Team Tarot broadcasts that we have here tonight. It's going to be another exciting opportunity for us to be able to see what message the universe has, to be able to inspire and assist us on our journeys of personal and collective awakening. So, for those of you who are tuned in on TikTok, now is the time, and for those of you tuned in on TikTok and Instagram, now is the time where you can jump over to the link in my profile to join in on YouTube, which I highly encourage you to be able to do. And once we have 10 people tuned in on YouTube, we will begin with our first reading. So if this is your first time here, welcome. We got a pretty awesome thing going on here as a team, as a community. And again, just getting things all set up so I can see all of your beautiful comments. For those of you who are tuned in on YouTube, do me a favor, drop an 1111 in the chat just to make sure that you can hear me okay. And please excuse the beautiful sun flare over my shoulder. All right. Shout out to Mary, shout out to Onser, shout out to Chris and Crystal. And for those of you, again, tuned in on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to tune in on YouTube. Like literally just click the link and then it will say like live tonight, tarot reading. Click that, jump over to YouTube. Once we have 10 people in the YouTube chat, then we'll get into our first reading. And I'll explain a little bit to you about how we do the readings here. So again, this isn't, when we do the readings, what we're doing here, we're doing like team readings. We're doing collective readings. And if you've been here before, if you've tuned into one of these, drop a 777 in the chat. If this is your first time here, drop a 333 in the chat. And so when we do these readings, again, we have people in the community who help facilitate, who synchronistically kind of like use their intuition to be able to help pull the cards. But the messages that come through are for the collective. They're for anybody listening. They're for all of us. And the way how we do this is that we work with the cards to be able to help receive symbols that are going to be able to serve us as like mirrors for us to be able to see more parts of ourselves. Just to be able to like spark ideas, to get inspiration going, to be able to like see things from a new perspective. And yeah, like we've been doing enough of these that I know like you keep coming back, the team keeps coming back. And the reason for it is because every time that we do these broadcasts, you know, it plants a seed, it opens something inside of us, it expands us to a new idea. So super excited to be able to be here once again with everyone. So thank you so much for those of you who are joining, for those of you who may be here again for the first time. I'll give some shout outs, and let me just take another moment here to be able to make sure I can see everything properly. And I think we've already got 10 people tuned in on YouTube, and so if that's the case, we'll get right into our first reading momentarily. So all right, yeah, so we can see there's about 10 people who are tuned in right now on YouTube, so that's perfect. All right, so again, for those of you tuned in on TikTok, for those of you tuned in on Instagram, click the link in my profile and jump over to YouTube. That's the primary chat, and that's where you can engage with like the way how we facilitate the readings. Plus you get to just like hang out with all the amazing people who are part of the community. So shout out to everyone. All right, just keeping an eye on things are looking good. Perfect. All right, beautiful. Awesome. All right, let's get into this. So again, with the way how we do these readings, the objective of these broadcasts is to be able to like do awesome readings for the team while also working towards our goals for the Patreon. So I'm going to set the objective of getting our first Patreon sign up tonight before the top of the hour. So let's say before 9 p.m. tonight. So if you've been tuned into my content before, or maybe you're brand new, but you want to be able to support it and even connect deeper, joining on Patreon, which you can see like underneath us here, we're currently at 164, working up to 169. Joining on Patreon is a super, super awesome way to be able to help support what we got going on here in the community. And it's an opportunity for you to be able to connect further. When you join on Patreon at the $11 a month or higher, you can join as what we refer to as a leading member. And that gives you access to our private community space where you can join our collaborative work periods, get access to the full chat, work with me as a conscious media creation coach, and to be able to join on air for our weekly team podcast where we practice having conscious discussion. So it's a great place to be able to help support each other as conscious creators and leaders. So again, setting the objective of let's get that first Patreon sign up by 9 p.m. tonight. And the first person, any person who signs up, you guys help facilitate the ongoing readings. And plus, when you sign up, you get to choose from one of the 2 decks, either the Ananda Tarot deck or the Lightworker Oracle deck. And to start off with, we're going to use the Ananda Tarot deck, which is how we do things here. And we'll go through this and we'll just go from one reading to the next, and we'll just see how much awesome inspiration we can pour forth into the community. So let's get right into this first reading. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick a number, and then you guys, you in the chat, all the amazing people, you're going to practice kind of guessing which number it is. And I'm going to tell you the bracket. It's not just 1 to whatever. So I'm going to take a moment here, just be able to think about it. Okay. All right. I got it. All right. Okay. So I'm going to tell you the bracket for the number. Each person here has 3 guesses that they can make to be able to guess the number. The person who gets the number first is the person who's going to help facilitate our first reading. This is only for people in the YouTube chat. So if you're in TikTok and Instagram, now's a great time to be able to jump over for the YouTube chat. So you only get 3 guesses until I tell you that you can start making more guesses. So y'all ready? Drop those 1111s in the chat if you're ready for this. Y'all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. Can't, that song's been in my head all day. I don't know, I'm just pumped up. All right, so thank you again, everyone. Here come the number bracket. So, okay. The number is a number between 300 and 330. So leave your guesses down in the chat if you are on YouTube right now. And again, only if you're on YouTube. If you're on TikTok or Instagram, jump over to YouTube right now, or else your guesses don't count. So number between 300 and 330. And I'll start doing my auctioneer voice as the numbers start coming in. And yeah, let's do this, team. This is psychic training between 300 and 330. You got 3 guesses until I tell you got more. First one to get it is the first one who gets to help facilitate the first reading. So we've got Lise coming in with a 313. We've got Morphic dropping in a 333. Morphic is outside of the range of the 330. I like how we got, oh wait, we have multiple people dropping in 333. We got 311. We've got 310 coming in from Mary. We've got Andrea dropping in a 318. Kristen dropping in a 308. Daisy coming in hot with a 318. Oh, and we've got One Sir on target with a 303. Congratulations, One Sir. That is the correct number. The number was 303. So congratulations, One Sir. And if I'm not mistaken, sweet, awesome. Okay. Sweet. Thank you so much, One Sir, for joining us once again and for allowing to be a part of this awesome experience that we got going on here. What was with that, team? How come there were multiple people who guessed above 330 with 333? I mean, I'm not upset. I'm just curious as to it's your impulse. It's just okay, I know it's between 300 and 330, but I just want to type 333 anyways. And then you just do it anyways. So it's I don't even care if it's wrong. I just want to type 333. So beautiful. All right, team, let's get into this first reading. And again, let's set that target goal of first let's get to 165 on Patreon by 9 p.m. tonight. So in 30 minutes, in 333, what? So, all right. So thank you again, everyone. For those of you on YouTube, you can actually see up in the top left, there's a little button, and if you click that button, that will actually launch you to the Patreon, but the link is also in the info, and I'm dropping it in the comments as well. So again, the next person who signs up for the Patreon will also help facilitate the next reading. So let's get right into the first reading. So thank you again, everyone, and remember, these are collective readings. So if you are here, you're going to help facilitate this. This is a way for all of us to be able to help receive and bring forth these messages together. So yeah, let's hear it for One Sir. Congratulations, One Sir. Good job. All right. Okay. All right, so for everybody here, let's get into this first reading. And for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to jump over to YouTube now. If you're sticking around, jump over to YouTube, and that way so you can be in the chat for the ongoing hangout and stuff like that. And yeah, when we do these broadcasts, there's a lot of inspiration that comes forth, and that's the intention here. So awesome inspiration, building the team, building the Patreon, lots of good fun. So One Sir, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you the basic instructions. I'm going to invite everybody here to practice dropping into their heart space, practice bringing ourselves into a place of gratitude with a little bit of meditative breath. Then what we're going to do, we are all collectively going to set the intention of show us what we need to see. So everybody here is going to kind of just take a moment to put that intention like into the ether, into the matrix. Show us what we need to see. I'm going to walk you through this, and then when I instruct you to, you're going to take a few breaths, and then you're going to type now into the chat. So again, we're starting with the Ananda deck. Again, the first time that we do the reading is for the Ananda deck, and then the optional deck is again once we have the Patreon signups. So honestly, oh yeah, I was gonna mention, if we get like, I want to be able to reach 169 on Patreon tonight, and if we can reach 169 on Patreon tonight, just for a little bit of fun, if you guys want me to, I'd be open to doing like opening up like a little like can of cider, and then we can do like slightly drunk inspirational team tarot if you guys want. Like, if you guys want, I've done it before. Like, it's just at that point it'll just be later in the broadcast, and it'll just be like more like fun and silliness, but it's a little incentive for you. All right, one sir, let me know in the comment if you are ready, and let's get right into this first reading. So again, for those of you on TikTok, Instagram, click the link in my profile and you can jump on over to the YouTube. So, but yeah, let's work towards setting that intention of reaching the Patreon for 169 tonight. So, and then eventually, like, my job is to like reach 200 by the end of the month. That's part of my objective. So sweet. Awesome. Thank you again, everyone, so much for the support. Once we've got the confirmation there, we'll begin moving into our first reading. So let's do this. And again, when you sign up on the Patreon, you also get discounts for the shop, the light guardian crystals, the buttons, lots of cool stuff. All right, let's do this, team. Thank you again, everyone. All right, so one sir is ready. So for everybody here, just taking a moment to be able to gently close your eyes. So for everybody here, just go ahead, do that now. And just take a couple breaths. Deep, gentle inhales through the nose. Soft, gentle exhales through the nose and the mouth. And as you continue to breathe here, just bringing gratitude into your heart. Just taking a moment here to acknowledge and share gratitude with all the amazing people who are tuned in right now, who are part of this community, part of this team. And so, as we are in this space, one sir and everybody, I want you to collectively focus on the intention of show us what we need to see. I want you to speak this intention with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. And so everybody focus in on that intention. And then one sir, I want you to take a few more breaths here, and then when you're ready, you'll type now into the chat, and then I'll split the deck and we'll pull that first card. So I'm just gonna charge the deck a little bit more. So type your wizard noises in the chat. And so I thank you once again, my friends, for joining in as part of this story that never truly ends. As we keep on unfolding into realms of newfinity, we will always find that there is more to see as we unravel the connections that are shared between you and me. As we continue to bring forth the knowledge from both the stars and the tree, deepening our roots, there is always more to see as we continue to unfold into all we are here to be. So as we breathe into this moment and we show up with an open heart, we will continue to do our best. We will continue to do our part. So much love to all of you who are taking part within this dream as we continue to manifest all of what is meant to be. You guys got some good sound effects in the chat. Skidamarinky dinky doo. Here it comes. Hold that vibration, focusing on that intention, and show us what we need to see. Any second now. Any second now. Here it comes. Boom shakalaka now. Whoa, that was a good one. That was some good boom shakalaka there. So, all right. Well timed. All right, good job, team. All right. Ooh, this is a powerful card to be able to start off the night with. So for everybody here, again, reminder, if you are here, this message is for you. The first card for tonight's Inspirational Team Tarot reading is number 4, the Emperor. Let me show you there. I know, like the sun here. Let me just hold it. Let me just take the sun and just hold it for a second, and then you can see it properly. Don't worry, eventually the sun will set behind me, and then you can like see the cards better. But yeah, it's like the image of like a guy on a throne. So we'll open up the book here. So again, for those of you who are new, what we do is we read from the book, and then I like channel and interpret additional information relative to the card. So all right, thanks again, everyone. Let's dive into this. And again, setting that intention of let's get our first Patreon sign up tonight before 9 o'clock. So again, if you're ready to sign up for the Patreon, you can do that while listening to this, especially if you're on desktop. It only takes like 5 minutes to sign up for the Patreon, 3 minutes technically. And again, that's an awesome way to help support the work we're doing. You can join as a leading member, get involved with lots of cool stuff in our community. And yeah, thank you so much. And you'll get to like help facilitate the next reading. So let's get to this. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. That's where like the majority of the chat is right now. So if you're tuned in on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile, join in on YouTube, and you can join the rest of the shifter squad there. All right, so let's dive into this one. So thank you again. And so if you're here again, this message is for you. So looking at this card, this is a card of the Emperor. So visually just explaining it right here, I know like the sun flare is still coming through pretty strong. You can see it is a card of like kind of like a semi-transparent, very classical, almost Roman style emperor sitting on a throne. And you can tell it's almost like kind of like made as if it's meant to look like kind of like a giant statue. And on this throne, you can see there's a lot of powerful symbolism. It's hard to see. Underneath here, you can kind of see there's like kind of like the sun that's kind of like seen throughout ancient Egypt, which is commonly associated with like Isis. It's kind of that symbolism, like the sun with wings. And you can also see that there's like two eagles. There's like one on each of these columns. And you can see the Emperor's kind of got like this like just kind of like nonchalant gaze with one arm over the sides. He's got one hand kind of on his face. But he's got like a very like stern look, kind of like looking over things. And then behind them, you can almost see kind of like ancient esoteric like symbolism. You can kind of got some like more wing symbolism. And of course, this whole image is like basically like a transparent kind of image that's almost floating above the horizon. You can see there's like little like a little river down below, and of course you got these beautiful like reds and kind of like orangey yellows and a bit of gold in there. So and the Emperor's also got like a little headpiece on that has like a third eye emblem on it as well. So let's dive into this card and see what message this card has for us. So thank you again, everyone, for joining in. Again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, if you're sticking around, click the link on my profile and join in on YouTube. And we'll keep an eye open for that first Patreon sign up. So again, setting that first Patreon sign up, setting the goal for like 9 p.m. So if you're ready to sign up for that, go for it, and then you can help facilitate the next reading. So let's get into this, and I'm going to read from the book. And again, if you're here, there's a message here for you. So allow yourself to even like meditate. Yeah, as you're sharing this. Aries Daddy, is that what this guy is? This guy is like hashtag Aries Daddy. Okay. I'm not doubting it. I think that's just hilarious. It is, like, because it is an Aries card, so I dig it. All right. Here we go. Number 4, the Emperor. The image. Centered within his being on a higher level, the powerful figure of the Emperor connects the affairs of worldly events. Meaning, out of the awareness of the constant presence of eternal circle of birth and death, the insecurity that comes from the unpredictability of natural phenomena grows, resulting in the need for security and continuity. From the necessity of bearing the consequences that bring predictable cycles of nature in limiting measure, the individual develops the ability to influence his environment within his framework of possibilities in order to protect his own life. The deep longing of human beings to control the laws of nature has its roots in the evolution's foggy past, with the goal of preserving the continued existence of their kind. All sorts of creatures, regardless of their level of development, begin to collect provisions for emergencies and secure quarters for the winter. With the ability to plan, structure, think ahead, and take action, humankind gains a certain measure of security. In his immediate circle, his first experiences with fatherly protection. We learn to live our male energy from our inner image of the father based on past experiences. Contrary to the magician, who represents the conscious mentality oriented inside the yang principle, the image of the emperor brings us in contact with the instinctive side of the male, assuming leadership, dominating, developing perseverance, and presenting a stiff upper lip to outside influences. The emperor makes us aware of the need of the instinctive knowledge of the composition of nature's laws, making wise decisions as well as structuring, putting in order, and submitting oneself to a higher order. The emperor challenges us to bring our driving forces under the control of conscious thinking, to collect the strengths we have and use them for the highest good of all. Astrological classification: Sun, Mars, Saturn, and hashtag Aries Daddy. Keywords: recognition, organizations, talent, leadership, qualities, confidence, putting inner knowledge into action, structure, stability, self-control, ability to assert oneself. Traditional meaning: influence, power and dignity, use of knowledge and strength, paternal, male expression, will, authority, responsibility, under control, order, control over matter. All right, so this is such a cool card to be able to be getting, especially like right into the beginning of our readings tonight. To be able to like start off with this card is a very powerful one. And again, going back to the intention, you know, we as a community, we hold this intention, like show us what we need to see, like what is needed right now. And so this energy is a very, very powerful card that reflects an energy that is capable of really being able to transform things where we're at right now. And so this card is a card that really has a lot to do with kind of like using our higher conscious ideas to be able to help like set conditions and standards that are going to help support our future. This card is about playing the long game. This card is about setting the foundations and doing it from like a really stern perspective, in a way that's kind of like, yo, like I understand the cycles, like I understand that there will be ups and downs. I understand that, you know, the ebb and the flow is a part of this reality's existence. And rather than just going through this process of just like nonchalantly being surprised by it when it happens, I'm going to anticipate for it now by laying down the foundations and creating order in the midst of like preemptive chaos, and sort of really holding this vision in our mind of like, where are we moving towards? What is it that we are striving for? What is it that our heart desires? And so this is something that, again, I think really reflects the virtues of what is needed right now personally, by us as individuals growing and evolving as leaders in the community. So how do we continue to like show up with that leadership quality? How do we continue to show up with that confidence? And that is something that for many of us, you know, it could be a new part of our story where it's like, you know, I'm still building my confidence. I'm still stepping into my role of leadership, but there is a seed within our heart that is a leader. And even if that leader is just someone who is kind of leading for ourselves, like before you can lead an entire collective, a community, or an army, we have to learn how to lead ourselves. And that's where, again, a big part of this is that before you can kind of become the emperor, or in order to become like a good emperor, you have to be able to make sure that your own kind of like instinctive base nature is something that you are aware of, and making sure that it is something that you can kind of create control over. So you're creating, this card has a lot to do with willpower. This card has a lot to do with kind of like almost like the Capricorn kind of energy that's like very much also in the higher perspective, where you're laying down the foundations, you're putting in like the grunt work in order to be able to create the foundation to be able to grow and play in the future. So like, how do you become an emperor of your own life? What do you need to do right now? What do you need to create? What conditions do you need to put in place in order to be able to create more of that stability? So again, obviously the card being very red has a lot to do with the root chakra, has a lot to do with the kind of like connection to the needs, to the base instincts, to the security, to the confidence from that. So if you're at a point where you're feeling like, you know, like your confidence is maybe something that you're still developing, this is a great card that is, again, encouraging us to be able to connect with our root chakra in order to be able to build confidence from there. Kind of think of this from the role of the emperor. A role of the emperor, back in the day, more kind of as like a metaphor, was to be able to expand their kingdom. And the kingdom is, again, kind of like a life form. It's like an organism in itself. And so in order to be able to expand their kingdom, rather than just like going and expanding it willy-nilly, I'm sure that's what the emperors would say, willy-nilly. I don't even know. That's a weird word. Opposed to just doing that and just like going off on a whim, a wise emperor would be like, yo, like, let's make sure that we have enough rations. Let's make sure that we've got our military set up. Let's make sure that we've got like our sociological systems in place. Let's make sure that we've got things taken care of and we've got people, like well nurtured and everything like that. And then we expand. Because otherwise, if you're just trying to like, if you're going to war, but then you don't have like armor for your troops and you don't have rations for your, for like the reinforcements and for the support and everything like that, then like you're essentially setting yourself up for what will be a harsh lesson. And so if you're kind of at this point where you're kind of like feeling this expansion of consciousness that is happening inside of you, you are stepping into your role as the emperor. Because again, this isn't just like saying, oh, you need to like rule the kingdom, but you need to rule your kingdom. You need to be the emperor of your domain. That is what this card is about. This card is about the archetype of the emperor that is required in order to be able to create like rulership over our own perceptions, over our own patterns, over our own instincts, so to speak. And as we continue to do this, we allow ourselves to continue to prepare to be able to play the long game, to be able to go further, to be able to create the security that is going to allow us to move like into those new realms with confidence. Because I think again, like with this card, like a lot of the key words in this, leadership qualities, yes. Confidence, putting inner knowledge into action, structure, stability, security, self-control, ability to assert oneself. So you need to really be able to like make sure that like you are being the emperor of yourself. So for everybody here, call to action, where can you perhaps like refine some of your patterns? Where can you kind of like develop a little bit more resilience, a little bit more temperance? And again, if you're just like, I don't know where to start, like a great place to be able to start, and I know I say this a lot, would be, again, start with something as simple as like cleaning your room. Like check, how is your room right now? If your room is a mess, then your kingdom is a mess. And if your kingdom is a mess, it's going to be harder to be able to expand it, right? And again, the kingdom's more the metaphor for our own personal growth, our consciousness, so to speak. So clean up your own kingdom. Personally, bring yourself into a place where you're developing confidence through just like the natural growth of stability that arises from taking care of your base instincts, your base nature, your base need. And again, that's through the simple things. And again, I know I always say this, but again, like how is your diet, your sleep, your exercise, your food, your sunlight, your social interactions? Those things are like the things that will give you the strength within your kingdom. Those are the things that will support you in the long run. So again, as we're just looking at this card, we'll wrap it up in the next little bit. Again, with this card, it has the ability to really kind of like expand further into being able to think, what is it that we need for our community? What is it that we need as a collective? And so this is where a lot of it can also be about kind of like creating sacred space and creating organization and bringing people together who are also working towards this collective shift in consciousness. It can be something that shows up through our media presence. It can be showing up again through the art that we create and everything like that, through the stories that we share. And so the emperor isn't just going to be this one who just kind of like lays things out and then just kind of sits back. They kind of like create the foundation and then they step into this place where they actively use their willpower, much like the magician, to be able to help bring things into existence, to be able to help bring things into reality, to be able to help bring things into form. So this card is really reminding us of the importance of being able to kind of like connect with the root in order to be able to plan to move further ahead. And again, just being able to kind of like tap into the natural rhythms of nature, the natural laws of nature, to kind of like synchronize with foresight, to be able to anticipate and listen to our heart for what is needed. So with this card, again, I would really say like this card, this is an opportunity for you to kind of like practice checking in with your heart. I mean, like, okay, like where am I going and what do I need to get there right now? And then also knowing that what you need is already within arm's reach. It's already like what you already have what you need right now. Everything you need is within arm's reach in order to be able to get to where you are going. But you have to kind of like use the ability to be able to kind of like perhaps even organize things in a way that will allow you to be able to utilize them to move towards like those next steps, those next chapters in your journey. So again, putting inner knowledge into action, structure, stability, security, self-control, ability to self-assert, influence, power and dignity, use of knowledge, strength, paternal male expression, will, authority, responsibility. So again, like, yes, we'll get close to wrapping this up here. Again, like, yes, like this card is like a lot to do with kind of like this like male energy, but again, this like this male type energy is an energy that's inside of all of us. It is this energy that kind of like protects things in like sort of like it makes additional steps ahead of itself in order to prevent things before they happen. So it's kind of like a preemptive thought process. But it is a lot to do with, again, kind of like using our confidence in our power to be able to, again, help create an emperor, like an empire that we can share with others. You know, this card is a lot to do with the guardian, like the guardian archetype. What is it that you stand for? What is it that you are here to be able to help create? What is it that you want to be able to like usher in for your collective? So this emperor isn't necessarily always going to be like, oh, this is about telling people what to do, but it's about being able to create a sacred space for people to be able to grow into that which they are meant to be. And so in the same way we can do that on a collective scale for community, it's important for us to be able to focus on this within a personal level, within our own emperor, within our own empire, within our own sovereign life. So yeah, I think this is a really, really cool card of just encouraging us to be able to like lay down the patterns, lay down the foundations before we move into those next levels of our journey, knowing that that is what is going to help get us there. If this resonates for you, drop an 1111 in the chat, and even feel free to leave an affirmation in the chat about how like it, just like something that kind of like reflects based on the message of this card, you know? So like, how do you want to be able to help kind of like lay down the foundations to build like the story of your empire, the story and the expansion of your consciousness? So awesome. Super, super, super cool card there. Sweet. Thank you again, One Sir, for helping us facilitate that card. Shout out again to everybody in the chat, sending good vibes. Autumn is asking us to be able to help like send like good vibes to her friend's family cat who has run away. So everybody here, just take a moment and just be like, we hear you, cat. Come home, cat. You are safe. You are loved. So yeah, sending good vibes to Autumn and everybody else here. So awesome. All right. Yeah, so again, I think this is a great card to be able to start off with. Seeing the 1111s in the chat, yeah, go ahead, leave some affirmations about how this card resonates with you. I again, like that's a powerful card to be able to start the deck off with, because again, it is a very powerful card about calling us into our potential, calling us into our power. And I think in a lot of cases, some of us, you know, we're at certain points in our journey where it's like confidence is still something we're building, and confidence kind of builds at the root. Confidence kind of begins on like a personal level. So as you just kind of begin to bring more of the confidence into your own reality by creating more balance, harmony, stability, changing your basic patterns, cleaning your room, changing your diet, your habits, your gratitude practices, your meditation, all of that continues to build. And then naturally your influence, your empire continues to expand out into the reality of those who you interact with. So this is a very, very powerful card that calls into our potential as creators. Absolutely. Layla says, I am getting my own energy and power into alignment to create change in the world as well. Beautiful. Well said, Layla. Well summarized. And again, you guys leaving these affirmations is good. It's kind of like, it shows that the message is coming through and you're allowed to, like, you're paying attention and you're able to translate it into your own words. Kristen says, affirmation, I am the creator. My thoughts, words, and actions hold power and should be treated with respect. Beautiful, beautiful. Well said, Kristen. Silent Sky says, laying down the foundation for my dreams, image, skill, wisdom, knowledge to manifest my dreams and what I want. Absolutely. And again, like, that's a big part of it. It's like, if you're like, show love for your dreams of the future by laying the foundations that are going to help you build upon it. So you may think like, oh, you know, I want to become like a famous like influencer or artist or something like that. Like, that's great, but instead of just going for that, like, what foundations can you build beforehand that are going to help you move, that are going to help you in building that? Because if you don't create the foundations, then you start kind of moving it, eventually like your empire is going to collapse, right? So you got to have the foundations, and then that's the healthy expansion. Awesome. Beautiful. One, sir, I'm happy to hear that that resonated with you as well. Beautiful. Awesome. Yeah, and good vibes. Good vibes to the Kizzard, the wizard kitty. That's what I was trying. Kizzard? Is that what I said? Wizard kitty is what I was trying to say. So beautiful. Awesome. Sweet. All right. Thanks again, everyone, for taking part in that first reading. And again, let that be a little reminder of what it is that is needed in this moment as we get ready to move into these next parts of the story. And I'm pretty sure is Mercury in retrograde right now? I think it is. I think it like literally just went into retrograde like a day or two ago. And again, like Mercury retrograde is a great time for us to be able to like kind of like reevaluate things and, you know, put things into order and stuff like that. So beautiful. I'm glad that was a good card for everybody. All right, team. We're going to get into our next card in the next few moments. Just give me a second here. I just got to be able to rest my voice. That's like honestly the hardest part about this broadcast is just like not overdoing it with my voice. We're still aiming for that first Patreon sign up. Again, I was setting the target for 9 p.m. We're almost at 9 p.m. Again, I'd love to be able to continue to just kind of like work towards that target even within the next like 15 minutes. If we want to set it like 9:15, and then again, once we get that first Patreon sign up, that person is going to help facilitate the the next reading. Yeah, doesn't it seem like Mercury was always in retrograde? It's like, Mercury, like you just came out of retrograde. What are you doing in retrograde again? You're so silly. So I know, I think I got to make a video about Mercury retrograde. So one, sir, thank you for joining in. Awesome. I'm glad you were able to catch that even if you are in the GMT time zone. So beautiful. Awesome. Thank you again, everyone, just for being so friendly and supportive of each other in the community. So all right, team. Again, we'll move into the next reading momentarily. If we do have a person sign up for the Patreon literally in the next couple moments, then we can do a reading, have them help facilitate. But otherwise, we'll do another reading for the collective. Yeah, just give me 2 seconds here just to be able to go over some comments. Shout out to those of you on TikTok. Awesome. Thank you. Wow, tuning in from Alaska. Retrograde on the 18th. Okay, so retrograde's coming up. It hasn't happened yet. So batten down the hatches, boys and girls. Get your shit in order. Retrograde's about to happen. So I love retrograde. It's like retrograde is kind of like, it reminds me of like the Three Little Pigs story where it's like, you know, the wolf comes and it blows the houses down. Obviously, like as if I needed to explain that. But anyways, what I was saying is that you know, it's kind of like being able to test the stability of your house. If you just got like a straw house, and retrograde is going to be like the wind that blows it down, and then it's just like, yeah, you build a better house next time. So instead of like waiting for retrograde to blow your shit over, you can like build a house that's like made of bricks to begin with, or like mud and clay or something really cool. Build like a dope earth ship. You can't blow down an earth ship. The thing's like built into a side of a mountain. So all right, we got 20 people tuned in on YouTube. Thank you again, everyone. If it's your first time here, drop a 333 in the chat. Again, with these broadcasts, we're doing ongoing tarot readings for the team while also working towards our objectives on Patreon. Sign up onto the Patreon. Again, if you sign up as a leading member, you can see the links down below for those of you on YouTube and Instagram. And for those of you on YouTube, the link is also up there and in the info. When you sign up on Patreon, it's a super, super dope way to be able to help support the project. You get to join our private community membership space as a leading member. You get to be able to take part in our collaborative work periods for conscious media creators. You get to join our on-air live podcast. This Thursday, 8 p.m. EST, is going to be another free flow conscious discussion. They're super fun. I encourage you to tune into them live. And again, you can also get discounts for the item shop. You can work with me as a conscious media creation coach. So it's super, super cool way to be able to help support the project and to just be able to like get involved further with the team. And we got a dope team here. So shout out to those of you. If you're already a Patreon supporter, drop an 1111 in the chat. And if you're planning on signing up for the Patreon in the future, drop a 777 in the chat. And again, the Patreon, the contributions only go through on the first of each month. So if you literally sign up today, there's like, it doesn't come off your card and the contributions go come off your card. They go through on the first of each month. So they go through in July. So Awesome. All right, I can see everybody's like educating themselves about Mercury retrograde. Okay, so again, let's set our first Patreon sign up. Let's set our Patreon sign up at the first one by 9:15. Straight up, like I want to reach 169 on Patreon tonight. And I told you guys, like if we reach 169 on Patreon tonight, I'll crack open a cider and then we can do like slightly drunk tarot reading. I've done it before. It's just, I mean, you see how silly I am to begin with. I'm sure you can imagine how entertaining it would be to be able to join in with some slightly intoxicated. And that's like, and again, like that's still just having fun. That's like nothing like that's still respecting the sacredness of the cards. So let's get into our next reading then. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to be able to tune in. Shout out to our Patreon supporters who we got tuned in. You can see all those 11s. Shout out to Lise, shout out to Crystal, shout out to Kristen, shout out to Star Soul, Melissa, shout out to Daisy, shout out to Dandelion, shout out to Mary, shout out to Autumn, shout out to Stella. Like I love that. Like like literally like more than half the people here are already Patreon supporters. So you guys are the best. You guys warm my heart. Thank you so much. And yeah, like thank you again everyone who's been joining in for the team meditations we've been doing too. Those are dope. So again, so much value that we're providing for the community, and it's because of us as a team. So all right, let's do this, team. Let's reach 169 tonight. Like straight up, I want to reach one. Yeah, if you guys want to like pour a glass of wine for yourself a little bit later too, go for it. Like, so again, that's our target tonight. Let's reach 169 tonight, and let's get into our next reading. So, all right, since we don't have a Patreon sign up just yet, we are going to do another like get someone to help facilitate from the team chat. But let's set that next Patreon sign up. I would say like no later than 9:30, and then hopefully we can get like a couple back to back. So again, if you guys are a fan of my work and you like the cut of my jib, then definitely feel free to support on Patreon. Let me just check here. Is the feed still working on Instagram and TikTok? Is it still working on Instagram and TikTok? Ugh, I don't know if it's working on Instagram or TikTok. I think what is going on? Oh no. We'll find out in a second. I might have to restart the feed on Instagram and TikTok here. Let's just double check here. Can you guys drop an 1111 if the feed's coming through on Instagram or TikTok? Can someone from YouTube just double check this? I'm just not 100% sure. I think my feed got it's coming through on Instagram, but I don't think it's coming through on TikTok right now. I just want to be able to confirm that before we jump into the next reading. So do me a favor, somebody like go onto my Instagram or TikTok and just let me know if the feed's coming through. Hopefully I didn't get like another strike. Oh no. Hopefully not. So tipsy tarot. Yeah, that's what we should call it. So all right, okay. Did the feed crash on TikTok and Instagram? Again, once I confirm that, then I'm just gonna jump right into the next reading. Okay, I can see Kristen, drop a comment in the chat. Let me know. Can you guys still see me on TikTok and Instagram? I'll probably have to restart the feed anyways soon enough. I don't know, it's like it's not loading properly. Yeah, I can see a couple of you jumping over onto the TikTok feed. Leave a comment if you can hear me. So comment. Yeah, TikTok won't load. It says it's loading. Yeah, okay, I don't know why. Okay, I'm gonna restart the feed on TikTok then. All right, thank you for confirming that. So, all right, we'll just take 2 seconds here, just be able to. Let me just confirm that I didn't get like some sort of like weird community strike or something again, because that happened last time. So, hopefully that's just like a glitch. Last time I was like playing a video game on air and I got like a strike on my account. Like I don't know, like it was like I don't want that to happen again. So hopefully we'll find a way. We will find a way. All right, restarting the feed on TikTok and Instagram, and then we'll get right into our next reading. So, all right, let's work on getting that first Patreon sign up as soon as possible. And once the feed is working, infinity. All right, let me just confirm that the feed is coming up on TikTok and Instagram, and then we'll get right into this. Thank you again, everyone, for those of you who are joining in. All right, okay. Just restarting the feed here, and we should be back live on all platforms. For those of you who are tuned in on Facebook, let me just take a moment here. For those of you on Facebook, again, reminder, if you're on Facebook, jump over to YouTube. Like I don't see all the comments on Facebook. So if you're tuned in on Facebook, jump over to YouTube and then you can join the primary chat. All right. Well, I don't know why it froze on TikTok, but nonetheless, it's up now. So thanks team for the quick response on that. All right, let's see. Do we have many people tuned in on Facebook right now? I think we literally have no one tuned in on Facebook. I don't even understand how Facebook works anymore. Facebook is essentially dead to me. Like, I don't know, it doesn't work. So I love you, Facebook, but so all right. Shout out to all of you who are tuned in on all platforms. Again, if you're on TikTok or Instagram, click the link in my profile to join the rest of the team on YouTube. And let's get right into this next reading. And again, let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up. So again, let's obviously work towards 165. That would be our next sign up. When you sign up on Patreon, you can help facilitate. Plus, you can help choose. That's the thing, like when you sign up on Patreon, you get to choose which deck we want to use for the team. You can choose from the Lightworker Oracle deck or the Ananda Tarot. So, yeah, I might have to try doing it in a Facebook group or something like that. We'll see. I'll have to experiment with that. I'm not too concerned about it though. So, all right, okay. Let's get into our next reading. Awesome. And dude, thank you, Solomon, for joining in. Good to see you here, dude. I wish you guys could easily click on each other's profiles and make sure you can subscribe, because I would definitely say go subscribe to Solomon Official. All right. Oh no, is the feed crashing again on TikTok? Frickin' frick, I think it is. I think that must be like a new thing that's like, oh man. Well, looks like I might have to create like an alternative option to be able to broadcast on TikTok and Instagram. Yeah, we have a Facebook group. It's just not very active. Like that's why we have our Discord chat. So, all right, hang tight, everyone. Can you guys go back to the TikTok? Can you just confirm that it's not loading properly? I think it's like a server issue on the back end. So, unfortunately. But what I'll have to do is I'll have to like manually set up like the classic camera. So, yeah, interactive lives, like we do those again. Like we have our team podcast on Thursdays. So make sure you guys tune in for that if you haven't before. All right, give me 2 seconds here. I'm gonna have to set up I don't know. It looks like I'll have to like set up an alternative method to stream here. I'm not exactly sure why it's doing that. I think it's just like an issue on the back end, but I do have a plan B. So give me a second here. 2 seconds. I'm just grabbing from my magic drawer. Oops. Alright. Okay, give me 2 seconds, team. I literally just have to like manually set up the feed like as like a separate like live feed on TikTok and Instagram. So I don't know. I might try restarting it later, but I'm not exactly sure why it's doing that. So stand by, everyone. All right, it'll still be fine. All right, thanks again, everyone, for your patience. Going live. Okay. You guys go ahead, leave a quick comment down below. Where's everybody tuned in from? And just give me 2 seconds here, and then we'll get right into the next reading. And again, let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up as soon as we can. Like if we can get it before 9:30, that'll be dope. So is there another global meditation planned? Yeah, we're working on that. I mean, I like to do global meditations even within our own community, but the other creators were kind of deciding. There is talk about possibly doing one on the solstice, but it just depends, because that's like on a Sunday and that's Father's Day. So I don't know exactly what the plans will be for that, but there will be more global meditations, absolutely. And again, in the meantime, like go back and like check out like our past global meditations if you're really like looking for something, because like our past global meditations are super dope too. So okay, All right, give me 2 seconds here. All right. I'm gonna try going back to the traditional method of the of broadcasting on TikTok and Instagram, and then if it doesn't work one more time, then I'll have to go back to like the old school method. So give me 2 seconds, because I'm not exactly sure why it was crashing. All right, let's see if this works. All right. All right, I'll keep an eye on the feed, and if it crashes again, then I'll have to do like an alternative setup. But with that said, we'll get into our next reading. So yeah, definitely, like the eclipse is like, yeah, like it's gonna be a big day, right? Like eclipse like on the solstice and stuff like that. Like that's pretty huge, and it's like new moon at the same time. Yeah, it's transitioning into like Cancer time and everything like that. All right, okay, so we're back on TikTok and Instagram. And once I've confirmed that we got things all set up here, I'll keep an eye on the feed. If it crashes again, I'll let you know. But with that said, let's get right into our next reading. All right, awesome. Yeah, we got people tuned in from nice. We got people tuned in from, yeah, we got a few people tuned in from Canada, Ontario, go team Ontario, Maryland, Colorado, Ohio, Utah, Norway, New Jersey, Cali, yeah, Jack, go back and check out our past meditation. Again, like for those of you who are perhaps like new to our profile, like part of what we've been doing is building a team of conscious creators. So conscious creators, like in leaders, like in specifically like even like conscious TikTok creators. So if you're interested in getting synced up with that, again, like go ahead and check out the Patreon. So again, posting the link for the Patreon into the chat. Let's set getting our first Patreon sign up before or by 9:30. So that would be perfect for those of you who want to be able to join there. And again, that's going to help us reach our next milestones, and it's an awesome way to be able to help get involved with the additional kind of like private community spaces that we got going on. So, all right, y'all ready for our next tarot reading? Let's do this. So, since we're hanging tight on the next Patreon, but we're gonna go into our next reading, and the way how we're gonna do this, again, I'm gonna pick a number, and you guys are gonna guess the number in the chat. You have 3 guesses until I tell you that you have more guesses. Yeah, and so the Patreon, again, the Patreon is a monthly micro contribution. The leading members is the $11 a month membership. So yes, but you can sign up on Patreon even at lower amounts and still get like discounts for the shop and everything like that, which is still an awesome opportunity there. So, and again, even if you want to like sign up for the lower member on Patreon, that's totally fine. Obviously that still counts towards our target goal. And yeah, if you have any questions, just feel free to let me know. So, and again, contributions only process on the 1st of each month. So when you sign up today, like nothing comes out till the 1st of each month. All right, let's go into our first reading. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, again, a reminder that you can click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube, and let's get into our next reading. So, okay, most of you are familiar with this, so let me pick a number. All right, okay, I got it. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the number, and you have 3 guesses. Don't guess more than 3 times until I tell you can. And then first one to get it will be the first one that is going to help facilitate this next reading. Again, the way how we do it, it's like team readings as well. So, awesome. Yeah. All right. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Okay, the number is between 200 and 230. Leave your guesses down below in the chat. And for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, your guesses only count if they are on YouTube. So now is the time to jump over to YouTube if you haven't already yet. So click the link in my profile to jump over to YouTube for those of you who want to join in on YouTube. So, all All right, we'll keep an eye open for those numbers. Yeah, you guys are just gonna guess 333 again. I mean, you could guess 222 if you want. I'll tell you right now, that's not it. But go ahead and keep on guessing. So, all right. Here come the numbers. They're coming in. We've got 218 from Silent Sky. Layla coming in with the 201. We've got Mary dropping in the 211. We've got Silent Sky dropping in the 210. Stella dropping in 209, 219. Rachel dropping in the 202. Mary coming in hot with the 222. We've got 215, 204. Ooh, it's a doozy, boys and girls. We've got 227, 204, 228. We've got 229, and there it is. Mary is actually the one who got it. So the number was 229. So congratulations to Mary for winning the psychic guessing game. Woo! All right, good job, Mary. Mary's the first one to be able to get the numbers. So yeah, that was a tricky one, man. 229. Who would have guessed that? But obviously Mary did. So Mary, let us know when you're ready, and let's get right into this next reading. And again, thank you so much, everyone, for joining in. And yeah, let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up by 9:30. So we got about 15 minutes to be able to sign up. And again, it only takes about 3 minutes to be able to add your support on the Patreon. And again, lots of awesome stuff here. Again, like the majority of you who are tuned in right now are Patreon supporters. So I think that's pretty cool. All right. Mary, let me know when you're ready. So beautiful. Yeah, let's hear it. A round of applause for Mary. Good job, Mary. So all right, man, I really want to get into the Lightworker Oracle deck. Not that I like one better than the other, but let's get into the Lightworker Oracle deck. So again, even for Patreon supporters, if you guys want to increase your pledges, that's totally encouraged too, right? Like you can absolutely do that, and then that will help you. Like you can do that, and then you can get like the next facilitation with the next reading. So if anybody here wants to increase their pledges, again, whatever is comfortable for you is what I say. Like I do my best to be able to provide you like so much value. Like I want you guys to be able to like take part in our team meditations and take part in our broadcasts and our meetings. And by the end of the month, I want you to be like, whoa, like I would have paid like $100 a month for that, you know? So whatever works for you. All right. Sweet, let's do this. Okay, Mary is Mary ready? Mary, I presume Mary is ready. Okay, there it is. Okay, Mary is so ready. All right. Thank you again, everyone. For those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to join in. If the feed crashes there, I'll let you guys know. So all right, so for everybody here, let's get right into our next reading, and we'll keep an eye on that next Patreon sign up, and let's get that Patreon sign up as soon as possible. All right, here we go. For everybody here, just inviting you to drop into your heart space. So again, this is a team reading, so everybody here collectively put your intention. It does affect the outcome of this quantum synchronistic psychic tarot reading that we are doing. So for everybody here, just taking a moment here to connect with your breath. Just do a couple big nice inhale exhales with a bit of a sigh. We've been moving pretty fast. Let's just slow down for a second. Deep inhale. Beautiful. Continue to breathe and allow yourself to just bring yourself into this space of gratitude for all the amazing people tuned in, this beautiful community that we've been building over the years. And as you're in this space, Mary and everybody here, focusing on that intention, show us what we need to see as individuals, as a team, as a collective, as leaders, as light guardians, as shifters. Show us what we need to see. And so for everybody here holding that intention, Mary, for you, I want you to speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your voice as well. And for everyone do that. And Mary, take a couple breaths here. When you're ready, type now into the chats. And for everybody else, you can go ahead and leave your psychic noises in the chat. So we'll charge the deck a little bit more. Just charging it just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit. It's like all right. And oh, what mysteries we shall see when we allow the cards to be revealed, to show ourselves how we can heal, to open our minds and our hearts, to remind us of the ways in which we can take part within this game, within this story, as we continue to rise into our glory For that is the place in which we find our purpose, when we continue to serve, when we continue to do all the service. So continue to unfold with your heart so strong as we open up our magic and we show right from wrong. As we anchor in this truth into all that we are, may we continue to bring forth the magic of the stars. Now, says Mary. Good job. I like how you guys like sound effects are like really, the timing on the sound effects is like getting better and better. You guys are getting good at this. So all right. So the card that we have pulled for this next reading on behalf of Mary, but for the entire team, is Swords 6. So give me 2 seconds here. Gonna open up the deck, and yeah, we're gonna dive right into this. And for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, shout out to you guys. Click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube. And again, let's work on getting that first Patreon sign up for tonight. Even as we're doing this card, setting that intention. So for everybody here, go ahead, set that intention. Be like, let's align with that next Patreon supporter. And again, huge shout out to just everybody for being here. Joining on the Patreon, I don't want you to think of joining on the Patreon just as like, oh, I'm just donating. Think of it as a way to like energetically invest in yourself as well, because it allows you to connect further. It allows you to just be in a supportive community space. Like, having community is such a valuable thing. Like, it's invaluable in its own way. So I like the Kung Fu Panda noises. Skadoosh. That's a classic. Man, that is a great movie. First time I saw that movie, that was like one of the first times that I did mushrooms. And I like saw that movie. So I was like coming up on mushrooms while watching that movie. It was so beautiful. Like it just like, it was so heart opening. I'm like, wow, this is such a magical experience. So anyways, I'll talk to you more about my mushroom experiences another time. Though, if you sign up for the Patreon, you can actually watch my 3-hour mushroom video of me on 5 grams of mushroom, if you're into that. So I think it's pretty entertaining, actually. So, all right. Allow me to just kind of like, I'm just going to open my window that way so we can get more additional sunlight in as it begins to set. So, beautiful. All right, team, let's get into this next reading. And yeah, like straight up, let's work on getting that 169 Patreon goal tonight. Like, I want to reach that tonight because I honestly, I want to like crack open a cider and do tarot for you guys. Like, I think that would be hilarious. Like, that is my job, to like provide you with inspiration, insight, friendship, and also just like fun silliness. It's important. It really, really is. So, all right. I'm just reading some of the comments in the chat. What did I miss here? So, all right. Okay. Let's get into this next reading. Thank you again, everyone, for being here and for being a part of the team. Keeping an eye open for that Patreon sign up as we move into this next reading. Here we go. So, Swords 6. Checking out this image here. What do we got? This is a really, really cool image here where you can see there's like 6 swords kind of around the edges. And then there's also kind of like this like crystal cluster. It's just like, it's like, are these huge crystals? Like, are these like magic crystals? But you can see there's like 6 crystals kind of pointing in the opposite direction of the cards, of the swords on the card. And you can see the swords themselves are actually facing in like opposite directions. So like one's facing up, one's down, one's up, one's down, one's up. So they're kind of intersecting, and yeah, you can see just like these like beautiful like blues, and it's just kind of like hovering above a landscape. So again, that's a very, very magical image in its own way. So again, just pointing out the literal explanation of what is on the card here, and then we're gonna dive a little bit deeper as I read the info from the book, and then I'll channel some other information. So as we're doing this, keeping an eye open for that first Patreon sign up. Yeah, clear quartz AF. Like, my goodness, as I have like the quartz like next to the crystal and everything right now. So, all right, here we go. Reminder: if you are tuned in right now, this message is for you. May it nurture your heart and inspire your spirit. Listen to this as if it's like a meditation. Here we go. 6 of Swords. The image. Out of the center of a grouping of clear mountain crystals come 6 swords that tower together over a pastoral countryside. Yo, as we're doing this, huge shout out. We did just get our new Patreon sign up to. Oh, yo, Solomon. Solomon joined up on the Patreon. Dude, that's so dope. Sweet. Well, I'll make sure you guys like give a shout out to Solomon in the chat. It's like Solomon official in the chat. You can give it a shout out to them. Wait till they get back though. They'll be like, yo, I just signed up. So that's dope. I'm excited. We've like known about each other for a while. So, all right, here we go. Meaning. All realities, whether they are material, emotional, or mental, have their origin in spirit. The prerequisite for the successful realization of goals lies in the clear alignment of thoughts, a healthy ability to differentiate, a strong sense of justice. Yo, okay, there he is. All right, everybody give a huge shout out and thank you to Solomon Official. Yo, dude, thank you so much, man. Like super honored to be able to like have you on board and just like adding your support on the Patreon. Solomon, like please, like once you get into the team chat, like Solomon does like their own podcast. Like we do kind of similar things, so huge shout out to them. You guys will get to like tune in with more of their stuff as we go. So super excited to be able to have you on board, man. All right, okay. I gotta reread this from the start. So yeah, just pumped. And again, we'll let's set our next Patreon sign up by 10 p.m. So we'll work towards that next. And then Solomon, you'll get to facilitate the next reading. So everyone give a huge thank you to Solomon in the chat. So meaning. All realities, whether they are material, emotional, or mental, have their origin in spirit. The prerequisite for the successful realization of a goal lies in the clear alignment of thoughts, a healthy ability to differentiate, a strong sense of justice, and the ability for objective observation harmonize the world of the soul and enable people to act selflessly. Whoever finds his inner balance can also be successful in helping healing their environment. Bringing about this condition requires a constant readiness to open up to new horizons. Among these belong the release of limiting beliefs that form the framework of their own abilities, as well as the acceptance of the unknown. By trusting that life will present the right thing at the right time, that which is uncertain can be greeted in a friendly manner, in order to begin the process of joyful awakening from which man and his environment can benefit the most. Astrological significance: Mercury, Jupiter, septile aspects. Keywords: broadening one's horizon, creating clarity, goal-oriented mentality, balance, discernment, sense of justice, gentle methods of healing, working with crystals. Traditional meaning: gaining knowledge, acting symmetrically, entering new territory, finding inner balance, trusting an intelligent lead. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Awesome. So this is a cool card to be able to get. And again, you know, going on the theme of like what is needed and everything, the main themes with this card is, again, it's kind of an echo of what we were talking about with the Emperor card. This card is about being able to reach new horizons, but in order to reach those new horizons, we have to be able to pay attention to the inner work. We have to be able to pay attention to the balance. We have to be able to like think about what it is that we're moving into, but then to be able to understand what is needed in this present moment, here and now, and to be able to really pay attention and to focus on our own healing journey. And so with this card, I think this is a powerful card to remind us that your healing isn't just something where it's like, oh, here's baggage for you, like you get the short end of the shitty stick, like tough luck and everything like that. Like, our healing is the journey. Like, what if your healing was something that you understood to be equally as important as the goals that you are working towards? And so instead of kind of like thinking like, oh, you know, like, oh, life would be perfect if I had this, if I was over there, if this was like in my reality and everything like that. What if you were to understand that your personal balance, your work of maintaining balance and your personal work of healing is actually taking you a step closer to that goal? Like, I think if we kind of understood that, then we would actually begin to approach our own balance as something equally as important as the bigger dreams that we have, because they're intimately connected. They're intricately connected. That's where, again, kind of like the swords kind of overcross. So a lot to do with, obviously, the swords. We're kind of thinking about the mind. So with this card, a lot of it is about being able to develop a new mindset, of being able to kind of like trust in this process that things are unfolding. And then instead, as new opportunities arise or new challenges, even instead of just kind of like meeting them in a way where it's like resistance, where it's like, oh frick, like I was so close to achieving this and now I have another obstacle and this is on my path. Instead, like what happens when you greet your like uncertain things that happen within this reality with a friendly manner? What happens when you change your attitude? What happens when you bring a new level of perspective into the things that are coming into your life that are actually there to be able to help test your balance? Like that is the way how life works, right? Where basically like our job is to take care of ourselves. And I say this time and time again. And you know, the balance in itself, it's not just going to come from reading books and watching TikToks and tuning into broadcasts. It's going to come from the inspiration to do the inner work. And the inner work, again, goes hand in hand with the physical work. So again, your sleep, your exercise, your sunlight, your water, your social interactions, your diet, and everything like that, that's important. But it's also kind of, again, being able to go through the gentle process of navigating the mental landscape, being able to forgive yourself, being able to understand what your goals are, being able to kind of shift your paradigms, letting go of limiting beliefs. And sometimes when we think about balance, sometimes it's like our balance can be off kiltered because we're like holding on to so much. And so there's certain things there that we just have to let go of. And those things may be, you know, even just like letting go of what we recognize as shame and judgment towards ourselves. And once we kind of like imagine you're trying to like walk a tightrope, but then you're like in one hand, you're like holding a luggage bag and it's like full of judgments, and you're trying to balance here and here's your dreams, and you're just like, whoa, like I can't do this, like my judgments, they're knocking me off balance. Like that's really hard, right? So instead, like there's certain things that in order to be able to obtain balance, you're going to have to let some things go. And within that process of letting go, that is symmetrical, parallel with a natural process of healing. If you're letting go from a place of love, you know, you're letting go from a place of being able to be like, you know what, like I forgive myself if I feel I need to. I've extracted the lesson. I can see how this is helping me grow. Therefore, I am giving permission to kind of like release my association with it, and then therefore kind of create space for new things, create space for new nutrients. You know, it's kind of like the process of like taking the weeds out of the garden. Like until you take the weeds out of the garden, those weeds are going to kind of like zap the nutrients from the other plants. So it makes it harder for things to grow. So once we kind of like create the balance and create the balance of the ecosystem, the balance of the fertile soil with the seeds that we are planting, then things will really, really start to grow. Then things will really start to like move us into this place where our dreams will naturally just continue to kind of like show up in a way that like, as we're ready to meet them, they will arise to us. But this is the other thing that's really important, is understand that like on the path to your dreams, you will be challenged. Like this is the way how the universe actually works. It's like the universe is like, yo dude, like know it would be really cool if you like worked on your balance. Like that would be dope, dude. Like do that. And you're just like, sweet dude, I'm gonna do that. And then you work on your balance, and then the universe is like, dude, you're so balanced right now, like check how balanced you are. And then the universe goes woof, and it pushes you. It like literally pushes you. It just like takes you and just goes woof. And then in that moment, you're just like, what the frick? Like freaking frick, universe. And then the universe is just like, trust me. But then in that process, you actually get to like see your ability to like maintain your balance. And you're going to be like, whoa, I'm falling off balance. And then it's like, wait a second. I know what to do in this moment. Center myself, bring myself back to my heart, take care of my foundation, do the inner work, allow myself to kind of see things from a higher perspective, look for the lessons, bring myself back to the focus on the future, do, and then you're back on balance. And then the universe is like, see, like I told you were balanced, but you never would have known unless I tried to push you, off. So again, it's a big thing where with this card, understanding the kind of balance of the universe. Yeah, drop an 1111 if that resonates. Like that's how the universe talks. It's like, yo, dude, it'd be so cool if you just ascended your consciousness. Like here's some challenges for you. And then you're just like, oh, what the frick? Like, but again, like this is a big paradigm shift for a lot of people. This idea of instead of just like meeting our challenges like with this resentment where you're just like frick, like more challenges, which I understand. That's a valid emotion, because obviously if you're working towards something, what the frickin' frick? I like how people are quoting me in the chat. Freaking frick. But again, you know, like like that is one of the big paradigm shifts, is understand that the things that are happening within your experience, relatively speaking, are there to be able to help you open up to more of what it is that you're capable of. So the challenges are actually there to unlock your courage, to unlock your flexibility, to unlock your strength, to unlock your resilience. Like, it wouldn't happen unless the challenges came, you know? Like, the challenges are just kind of like a little, like, it's like a chiseling away, you know? It's like, it's kind of like this idea, like, this is, I don't know, I'm just getting into metaphors now. We imagine ourselves as kind of like this, like, we're like a pillar of marble, so to speak. And then, like, inside of us is like this pristine statue. And then every now and then the universe is like chiseling away at us. The universe just kind of walks up, and the universe is almost like the sculpture of us, in the same way we are the sculpture ourselves. And the universe is like snap, 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 click, 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 clank, clank, clank. I'm like knocking away parts of yourself. And then if you don't know any better, you're just like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, I'm a beautiful marble slab. Stop chipping away at my stuff, man. But then meanwhile, the universe is like, dude, it's like, trust me, like, I'm actually bringing your form out. And then clack, clack, snap, clank, 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 snake, bloop, bloop. That's the noise that the universe makes. Bibbly boppity boop. And then from there, over time, as it does this, it's chiseling away that which you are not. And as you do this, eventually, you know, fast forward like 25 years later, and you're just like, oh my God, like, now I can see what I am. And I wasn't just this like simple marble slab. I thought I was, but I'm actually just this like beautiful piece of art that is underneath. And this wouldn't have come to form unless the universe hadn't chipped things away at me. So again, this is a big journey about being able to learn not just who we are, but who we are not. Like, that is a big part of the paradigm shifting journey. Leave your affirmations in the comment about how this resonates with you. I'm just going to go a little bit deeper here. So again, keywords in this: broadening one's horizon, changing the way we see things, changing the way we relate to the challenges and the circumstances that approach us. Again, instead of just like meeting the challenges and being like, frickin' frick, instead, can you get curious? What is this here to teach me? How can I grow from this? How can I meet this with a curiosity? You know, that's a powerful thing. Next challenge that comes up to you, meet it with a curiosity. Like, seriously, that's the best thing. And like, that's the thing. Instead of just saying, when a challenge comes at you, meet it with a friendly smile. Meet it with compassion and stuff like that. Like, I understand that, but there are going to be some challenges where in the moment, like, no, you're not going to want to smile at it. Like, the smile will not be appropriate. It won't be a realistic expression of your emotions. But even if you're pissed off at a challenge, you can still get curious about it. You can still get curious about it. And then over time, as the lesson kind of reveals itself, then the smile might arise and you're like, like, okay, now I see, right? So again, creating clarity, inviting us to be able to create balance so that we can see things clearly, goal-oriented, understanding what it is that we're working towards, and understanding that in order to get there, it requires us to be able to work on our own balance, discernment, sense of justness, gentle methods of healing. Be gentle with yourself. Such a powerful part of the story, absolutely, to be gentle with our own process, and gentle with others as well. And traditional meaning: gaining knowledge, acting systematically, entering new territory, finding new balance, trusting an intelligent lead. So yeah, this is a very, very powerful card. Just kind of wrapping it up here, which again just reminds us that our journey is one of balance. It is one of seeking balance, and then maintaining balance, and then being tested in our balance, and then constantly kind of working towards our goals as we continue to serve ourselves, serve each other, serve the collective. And as we create balance within ourselves, we create balance in our environment. We create balance in the world around us. So again, it's like you create balance within, you create balance without. So you harmonize, you create an opportunity for others to be able to harmonize with you. So beautiful. Among these belongings, the release of limiting beliefs that form the framework of their own abilities, as well as the acceptance of the unknown. I love the idea of, like, you know, what does it take to be able to like kind of like develop a new relationship with the unknown, you know? So instead of just being like, oh, like, you know, like freaking frick unknown, instead kind of like allow yourself to be like, like there's gifts in the unknown. There's buried treasure in the unknown. There's an adventure in the unknown. let's get excited. Let's get curious about the unknown, knowing that it is there to be able to call you into a place of purpose. It's calling you into adventure, so to speak. So for those of you who are tuned in right now, drop an 1111 if you didn't already, if this resonates with you. Leave some affirmations down in the chat of what this card kind of speaks to you. Some sort of affirmation related to this, related to balance, related to kind of like moving in towards what it is that is on your path, even if it is in the unknown. So beautiful. All right, I saw some affirmations earlier. Just catching up on some of the comments here. Okay, was there an affirmation? Did Rachel already leave an affirmation? I thought there was an affirmation that Rachel left earlier. So there it is. Rachel, affirmation from way up top, like halfway through the reading, says, I open my inner eye to other dimensions of reality. I release congested thinking in order to reveal new possibilities. Beautiful. Rachel also said, I calm and clear my mind in order to welcome openly the new energies and situations that are emerging. Beautiful. And that's a good way of putting it, right? Like when we have that kind of inner balance, it allows us to see things clearly, right? It allows us to see things from a new perspective. And again, like balance is an ongoing thing that you work on every single day. Like every single day, how you start your morning will be an opportunity to be able to create balance. Like literally, you know, like if you wanted to, you could experiment with what it's like to kind of like push yourself off balance just to be able to get yourself back. Like this is actually kind of a weird spiritual practice. Like it's weird in the sense that it's uncommon. Like theoretically, if you wanted to, you could literally do something that is like, okay, like here's one of my vices. I'm going to indulge in it. I'm just going to give into it. I'm just going to like go all the way in, or just to some extreme or something like that, just to be able to see yourself kind of pull yourself back, just to see your ability to be able to like bring yourself back to balance. I'm not suggesting you do that, but that is a thing that theoretically you could experience and practice. But again, you know, only do that if it's like relative to your circumstances. And nowadays, I think it's more beneficial if we just kind of focus on maintaining balance, opposed to intentionally putting ourselves off balance and bringing ourselves back. But every now and then there will be the times where we unintentionally kind of like find ourselves kind of like out of balance. And again, even in that in itself is the medium for the message and for the opportunity for us to be able to learn that, yeah, even in those moments of where it may feel like we're out of balance, we're still capable of bringing ourselves back to that holistic balance, that harmonization. So that is like, seriously, like this is a powerful idea. I'll just finish it off here. The universe naturally seeks harmony. Like when things are out of balance, the universe naturally does what it can to bring itself back to harmony. Like that's like what it's like. It's like a gravitational thing. It naturally will pull itself back to harmony. So when you kind of know this, you can kind of like allow it to be like felt through your very being. And this is where like karma ties in. It's like when you're off your balance, karma will kind of like do what it can to kind of like help push you into getting back onto your balance and stuff like that. Anyways, yeah, 6 of Swords, super dope card there, just reminding us about being able to like be the balanced crystals that we are, or something like that. All right, seeing those 1111s, if there are any other affirmations. Awesome. Yeah, Melissa, thank you so much for leaving your comments as well. Melissa, are you Cherry on TikTok? Was that you or was that someone else? I'm just putting usernames together relative to the comment that you asked there, because we talked about that literally on the TikTok not too long ago. Okay, any affirmations? You guys are just kind of like giving advice to each other. That's perfect. Okay, yeah, that was Cherry. Okay, I'm seeing your other comment there. Awesome. Beautiful. Yeah, and Melissa, thank you again so much for adding your support on the Patreon as well. For those of you who hadn't yet, give a special thank you to Melissa. She's one of our newer Patreon supporters. Awesome. All right, beautiful. Good job, everyone. All right, so again, if there's any other affirmations related to this card, go ahead, leave a comment down in the chat. For those of you who are tuned in on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. That's where the majority of the people are tuned in right now. And yeah, I encourage you to do that. And then you can just kind of like be synced up with the rest of the team there. Aloha again to all of you. Yo, Hollow, thank you so much. Anybody else? Yo, Megs, thank you, everyone. All right, so again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to join in on YouTube. So Beautiful. All right. With that said, we're gonna get right into our next reading. I want to be able to set the next Patreon sign up goal for 10 p.m. So that's in about 15 minutes. So if anybody else is ready to sign up for the Patreon, go ahead and do that. And again, huge shout out to Solomon for being our newest Patreon sign up. Again, huge shout out to them. Solomon, please feel free to like let people know where they can connect with you through. And Solomon also does like a conscious podcast. Like both him and I have been like creating conscious content for quite some years, going all the way back to like the 3DL days, 3 days of light. So beautiful. All right, so Solomon's name is in the chat there. So there we go, team. We're currently at 165. Again, if we can reach 169 tonight, then I'll do some like I'll crack open a cider and we can do some like slightly intoxicated tarot readings. I'm sure you guys are curious. It'll just be like me getting like sillier, but at the same time, it's like also like still like relative channeling. So, but again, I just have to be gentle with my voice. So beautiful. So yeah, everyone here, go make sure you subscribe to Solomon's content and check them out as well. The project is Project Bring Me to Life, and it's with the number 2. But you can connect to them through their YouTube, and again, you'll get to connect to them through the team chat as well. So keep an eye open for that there for the fellow people on the team chat. And a reminder, if you're not already yet, like anybody can join the team chat. So anybody can join the team chat. It's like a public chat as well. And then leading members have access to like the other aspects of the chat. So, all right, team, let's get ready to move into our next reading. So Solomon, let me know if you're ready. And again, since you signed up to the Patreon, you get to choose if you would like to do the reading of about from the Lightworker Oracle or the Ananda Tarot. The Lightworker Oracle is usually like a little bit more literal, and it also gets into like pretty like esoteric stuff. And then the Ananda Tarot is a little bit more symbolic. So awesome. Yeah, definitely encourage you guys to check out Solomon's podcast. Like, yeah, just like a lot to do with like interviewing fellow like conscious people who are helping shift consciousness and everything like that. So like, again, it's like already very much like within the same framework of what we're doing here as a team. So super excited to be able to work with you, man. All right, so team, let's get right into our next reading. Solomon is ready. Just waiting to confirm which deck. Yeah, Breezy was one of the people who's been involved with the podcast there as well. So Brianna, for those of you who are familiar. So sorry, did you like, this is Ananda, not Anon. Did you want the Ananda? Did you say tarot or oracle? Which one do you prefer, tarot or oracle? And I think you're saying the tarot. So for those of you tuned in on TikTok, click the link in the profile to be able to join in on YouTube. And yeah, we're just gonna get right into our next reading. And again, let's work on getting our next Patreon sign up. Let's work towards reaching like 169 tonight. That is the target goal. So just give me a moment here. Just gonna gently massage my throat. Awesome. Sweet, awesome, Star Soul. I'm glad that last reading for you came through. So, all right, I think Solomon wants the Ananda Tarot deck again, which is totally cool. And then if we get once we get another Patreon sign up, then we'll see if they want to do the Lightworker Oracle. So. Okay, all right, Solomon is ready. Let's do this with the Ananda Tarot deck. So, all right, team. Thank you again, everyone, so much for being here, for adding your support. If you're new, if this is your first time here, drop a 333 in the chat, and then that way people can just like say hello to you and everything. So, okay, let's do this. Let's get into this next one. So, Solomon, again, I'm just going to invite you to kind of like go through a little meditation with us, and then I'll instruct you, and then you'll type now in the chat once you've been instructed to do that, and then we'll facilitate the card. But before that happens, let me just use my wizard magic to 1, 2, 3, and skibbity boobity bop. All right, purple mode engaged. Here we go. All right, awesome. Shout out to the new people. Shout out to Darcy. Thank you so much for joining in. Yeah, I got my tea here. I picked up some more green tea today. I'll have to get some tea after this reading. After this reading, we'll take a little bit of a break. And again, we'll keep an eye open for the next Patreon sign up. So I was setting the goal for the next Patreon sign up by 10 o'clock. We're at 9:50 right now. We'll move that to even just like 10:15 once we get to 10 o'clock. So again, if you guys are ready to sign up onto the Patreon, go ahead. When you sign up onto the Patreon, you're not only supporting the team, but it's like an awesome way to invest in yourself and get connected with like the private community space that we got within our team. So beautiful. Awesome. Sweet. I love how friendly everybody is here. Like you guys just like warm my heart. You're just like, oh yeah, new people, welcome. So I'm a young Uncle Iroh from Avatar: The Last Airbender. Dude, I haven't watched all of the Avatar: Last Airbender scene. I don't even know who Uncle Iroh is. I don't know. Is that the old guy? Obviously, I guess. I think I know who that is. So, anyways, all right, let's get into this next reading. So, here we go. All right. Feel free to send like good vibes for my voice. Gotta make sure it's rested. So, okay. For everybody here, using the tarot deck, Solomon is ready to help facilitate us here. So let's all do this together. Okay, hold on. I just have to see. I'm just gonna run a search on Uncle Iroh. If it's the guy who I think it is. It is the guy who I think it is. Like I've seen memes of him, but I'm not familiar with with that part of the season. I know you're gonna be like, damn it, Brendan, what do you mean you haven't watched all of Avatar: The Last Airbender? Like it's a long season. I haven't like sat down and invested all of it. I've watched Legend of Korra and I've watched the movies. I love Avatar: The Last Airbender, the movie. Yeah. Unsubscribe. Seriously, I don't know. I appreciate it for what it is. So, all right, for those of you tuning in on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to join the rest of the team on YouTube. That's where the majority of our chat is. And yeah, let's move into this next reading, and I'll try not to get sidetracked by Avatar. So, okay, here we go. All right. Just taking a moment here, inviting everyone to gently close your eyes if you wish. Just allow yourself to take a few breaths here as you connect with your heart. Just allow yourself to be in this space of gratitude. Gratitude for all the amazing people tuned in who are part of this team, a part of this community. People who are working on themselves and helping accelerating the shift in consciousness. So for everybody here, including Solomon, taking a moment to be able to focus our intentions, show us what we need to see. I want you to speak that intention with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. Show us what we need to see, us as individuals, us as a collective, us as a community. And Solomon, as you're in this space, for everybody here holding that intention, take a few more breaths, and when you are ready, type now into the chats. And for everybody else, join in on adding sound effects as we charge the deck a little bit more. Breathe into this space as we continue to show up within this race, the one in which we all win, the one in which things have always been, connected to this ancient truth that is deep within our hearts, that anchors in the knowledge of the stars. And so let us continue to expand the realms that we hold. Let us continue to remember the magic that is infinitely old. And so, like Uncle Uru says, continue to do your best, and we shall pull the card and see what message the universe has. Bloop, 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 blah, 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 blah. Shoop, 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 shoop. I feel like I'm like when I do that, I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! It's time to do. God, can we just like bring back like all like the early 2000 anime like nostalgia into one broadcast? We'll just do that. So, all right, okay. Ooh, here's an interesting one. The last time I pulled this card was when I was doing tarot readings on New Year's Eve, and it came up twice in one night, so that's why I remember it. The card that we have just pulled is Cups 8. So this is I can tell you right now, this card is gonna like Like some of you are gonna be like, damn, yep, I needed to hear this. Yep. It's gonna be one of those cards. So all right, let me just open it up here to Cups 8. Again, keeping an eye on the next Patreon sign up. Let's keep that goal for the next Patreon sign up by 10:15. So again, we're currently at 165. Let's reach 169 tonight, and that way, so I'll do some slightly intoxicated tarot reading. That's a victory. That's like our reward for reaching the 169 on Patreon tonight. So again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, click the link in my profile to be able to join in on YouTube, and you can find the link for the Patreon through my profile link and on YouTube as well. All right, 8 of Cups. Here we go. So, whew, all right. I got my lo-fi beats on in the background. If you guys want to listen to lo-fi, you can like open up this. I'm posting lo-fi into the chat. If you guys want to listen to this at the same time, then that means you can open up in another browser if you're on desktop, and then everybody can like listen to the same music while we're watching this. So, all right, okay, let's move into this. Looks like the TikTok and Instagram feeds are still running properly, so that's good. That's a good sign. Okay, so explaining the card visually, and yeah, let's work on reaching that 169. Everyone set your intention. Pew, 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 pew. Okay. This one's gonna be, yeah, hang tight. This one might be, no spoilers. It'll be whatever it needs to be. All right, here we go. Cups number 8. This is a very, very cool image that we have of numerous cups, 8 of them specifically, kind of like moving from the horizon from a little cup to a bigger cup in the foreground. Each one kind of like a different shape and size. One's like a regular wine glass. One's like a martini glass that's kind of like getting shaken around a bit. And then you got like a chalice here in the background, plus more wine glasses. And then what's interesting is you actually have one of the glasses that's actually broken. And then another kind of like chalice in front of it. And that chalice is almost like kind of like spilt. And you can see there's kind of like this river of creativity that's kind of like flowing from the background into the foreground. And it kind of dissolves into like this space theme. Are you guys rolling? Are you guys rolling live right now on the broadcast? You got people rolling on the broadcast? Go for it. Go for it. You guys can do whatever you want, man. Whatever helps you vibe with the vibes. So I appreciate it. So, all right. This is working our way towards 169, Cups number 8. If you are here, this message is for you. We're rolling deep. So, all right. Allow you to just hear this as a meditation. For all of you tuned in, thank you for your support. Thank you for joining. Let's dive deep. 8 of Cups, the image. 8 cups hover above the distance of a river landscape and then empty themselves out in the vastness of the area. Meaning, this is... I just like the fact that everybody's like talking about rolling, and then like wait until I read this card, and then there might be some connections there. We'll see. You guys are funny. All right. Okay. Meaning, in order to continue further development, it is necessary at times to let go of outmoded ideas. You have to separate ourselves from negative attachments that hinder our personal progress, even if the separation from a comfortable environment is difficult. With an eye to the future, we are required to make a decision, knowing that the value of that which we are turning loose, yet not knowing the value of that which awaits us. But it is not so much the external circumstance that demand our inner change. It is more our inner conviction that we present to outer things. Every phase of a deep revelation of the connections of inner and outer reality is preceded by the search for truths. This requires turning away from worldly events, as well as questioning one's own stand toward life and familiar view of the world. The best condition for bringing about inner change is a critically neutral observation of one's own being. Something can only be changed when it is recognized. A healthy contact with one's soul gives man a realistic picture of self. Only through internalization does man reach self-realization. In the essence of his own being, he recognizes the outer world within himself. Besides processing past experiences, a constant testing of inner motivation is needed for further development. Told you, this card's talking to you, man. Yeah, you, whoever's listening to this. Astrological significance: Moon, Saturn, square, semi-square aspects. Keywords: poverty consciousness, internalization, dark night of the soul, release of negative attachments, inner transformation, philosophical observation, further development, contemplation, self-realization. Traditional meaning: loneliness, grief, fear of loss, negative thinking, farewell, separation, melancholy. All right. Okay. Just give me 2 seconds here. I just gotta click a doohickey there. Okay. So I'm glad a lot of people are tuned into this. This is a very, 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 very significant message to be able to receive here. So I don't know if you guys are paying attention to the card. I know a lot of you are too busy rolling right now. So I don't know if you heard the message. So let me reiterate it. Honestly, no shade. It's totally cool. This message within this card is basically the basic idea is to basically be able to like pay attention to circumstances and habits within our life that are holding us back or that may not be really fully supporting our highest growth, while also acknowledging that they are there in the first place in order for us to be able to go through the lesson of learning how to let go. And so this card really relates a lot with vices, relates a lot with even like circumstances of addiction and everything like that. So obviously this is like a bit of like a sensitive thing, and I'm sure something that we can all relate to within our own way. But it also relates to our addiction to comfort and our addiction to ease and our addiction to familiarity. So this card is basically encouraging us to be able to let go of that which we are familiar with in order to be able to move into the new horizons. So you can again see the common connections between like the Emperor, the Six of Swords, and now this card. It's kind of painting this bigger story where it's like, yo, let's get our shift together by making sure that we're like not kind of still in these loops that are preventing us from moving into our full potential. So with this card, again, like this could be a card where just kind of like drawing out a circumstance with no particular, like this is just like a general example. It could be a circumstance of like someone who is like trying to progress themselves on their spiritual path and trying to cultivate more spiritual awareness, but then at the same time they're like spending, you know, like 6 hours a day playing video games that they're addicted to. And they love playing these video games. They're familiar with them. They're comfortable. They're fun. They get excitement out of them. It like stimulates. It releases endorphins. It gets them excited. It's something they look forward to. But we need to be honest with ourselves and be able to practice using willpower and moderation and to be able to say, okay, something's got to shift. There is an imbalance here. So again, this card is going back with the other card about being able to acknowledge where are the imbalances within our circumstance, within our reality. And for some of us, it may not be like this card may not be entirely relative because we're just like, you know what, like I've actually got a pretty good handle on things. But maybe in your past it was a circumstance where maybe it was, you know, like, oh well, you know, like I was like smoking weed like way more than I needed to. I was like drinking and hanging out with friends that wasn't really like evolving me further to where I needed to. I was just like binge watching Netflix all the time. I was using it as a form of escapism instead of a place to be able to help, like, you know, instead of using that same energy to be able to do things like create and to be able to work on myself and develop resilience and develop willpower and to continue to kind of like grow and support my dreams. So this card is a very, very powerful card that kind of invites us to be able to kind of like shine more light on our habits in order to be able to observe where we're kind of creating these loops that are holding us back. So this card is kind of a card that can relate to a version of the Dark Night of the Soul. But again, it's something where you want to be really gentle with yourself, but at the same time, you have to be really honest with yourself. So again, a big part in this is like releasing negative attachments. And the reason why I put that there is because it's up to you to be able to decide what are your negative attachments. What are your negative attachments right now, you know? And again, like your negative attachments are going to be something that you are going to have to identify within your own personal perspective, because it's up to you to be able to decide like what the healthy balance is for you. And at the same time, rather than just kind of saying like, okay, like enough is enough, cut this out completely. Some people might do that, but again, it's there is a way where you can kind of like ease out, you know, slowly kind of transition, replace things from one thing to another, move from one space to the next, and to gradually kind of cultivate into a new space where, again, instead of just like releasing negative attachments, technically what you're doing is focusing on the cultivation of positive attachments. So we as humans, we get addicted to things. We naturally get addicted to things, right? But at the same time, in the same way we can get addicted to things that may be sort of like a negative attachment, we can also get addicted to things that can be positive for us. We can get addicted to like eating delicious celery and food and vegetables, or having smoothies. We can get addicted to like exercising. We can get addicted to meditation. We can get addicted to hanging out on awesome tarot broadcasts where we get to like hang out and be around other like-hearted people and everything. We can get addicted to like creating art and sharing our voice and singing and everything like that. But at the same time, you know, this is a card that's really inviting us to really pay attention to where is our focus right now. Because where we focus, energy goes. And some things that we are focusing on do nothing more than just kind of like suck our energy into a place that is like, it might satisfy us, but it doesn't serve us. And so that energy is just kind of like going into like a bit of a spiral. Like it doesn't like it goes into the experience, but it doesn't go beyond that. It just kind of like goes into an abyss, and there it goes, you know? Like you might like, you know, you could spend like, and again, this isn't any shame or something like that, because again, I know like addiction is absolutely a very real thing that a lot of people deal with, and it is in itself a part of the spiritual journey to be able to see your own ability to cultivate resilience, to be able to move beyond the grips that these things can kind of like create on you. But again, you know, it's being able to like really be conscious, really be able to observe, really be able to pay attention. So that's why, again, like this cup, you can kind of see like it's kind of got like the different wine glasses and stuff like that. And it's like, yo, if you keep partying like that, then like you, again, you know, you have to understand that like you are getting what you put in. And so if you keep putting yourself into these habits, then you're going to get the same results. And perhaps you've already been getting these results for time and time again. And so again, these results in them ways are kind of like the soft message to say, you know, like, hey, like you've done this before. You're going to get the same thing. Are you going to keep doing it? Or do you want something else? Do you want something different? And so if your answer is like, yo, I want to create something different for myself, then again, see it as an invitation for you to be able to practice cultivating your willpower, cultivating your focus, moving your focus to somewhere else. And again, this becomes easier, like this card becomes more relevant when we look at the previous cards about the cultivation of balance. It's easier to be able to observe where you may be existing within what this refers to as poverty consciousness, or again, kind of be developed, like where you currently have like relationship with these kind of negative attachments. And as you cultivate balance within your entire life, again, even being it in the simple things is like your diet, your sleep, your exercise, your social interaction, your water, your sunlight, all of those things are going to help you observe and be real with yourself and be honest with yourself and make decisions and make new habits, make new course corrections, and change the way you're going. And again, you know, like these experiences that we hold on to that kind of like hold us back, they in themselves are also allies. They in themselves are also teachers. It may not look like that, and it's not like you want to kind of like you don't want to just be like, oh, this is an ally for me because it's helping me kind of like mask it numbs my pain, and it helps me kind of like avoid responsibility and stuff like that. Like that's not really like a healthy relationship, right? You want to see it from the perspective of like, oh, this was actually something that taught me a lot of how to be able to like grow beyond it, right? Like I wouldn't be who I was if it wasn't for my ability to exist alongside my vices, but then to be able to allow my vices to move me into a place of more sovereignty by continuing to intentionally grow beyond them. So with this card, again, this card is a really, really powerful card that invites us to be able to reflect self-realization. What are your quote-unquote negative attachments that are holding you back? Where can you create more balance? Where can you adapt new habits? Where can you adapt kind of like new lifestyle choices? And where can you bring in, again, like new ways of living that will, again, naturally kind of outweigh your desires and your kind of like longing for like the actions of the past and stuff like that. So again, it's not so much as just simply saying no to the old, but saying yes to the new simultaneously. And when you do that, that naturally helps create a new direction for this energy to be able to flow towards. So again, no shame in any of us who are dealing with any sort of like addictions or anything like that, because again, even still, like, or any sort of like emotional negative patterns, because again, like, even with this, like, this can also relate to relationships, right? Like, a lot of people, they may be in a relationship that may feel comfortable, but it's not actually accelerating their growth. And then, their partner doesn't want to break up with them, and you're both kind of content, but in your soul, you're just like, I don't want to, like, this isn't really helping me grow. This is kind of stagnation. And when you feel that, you have to get really real with yourself and be like, what would I prefer? The comfortability of just kind of staying where I am and never fulfilling what's beyond the horizon for me, or leaving that comfortability and entering into the unknown and being brought into the space of new growth. So this card is really inviting us into a deeper level of our courage and into a deeper level of our trust as well, and to really be able to kind of like see the horizons of what is before us, opposed to just kind of getting attached to the past and to the comfortability of the now. So yeah, drop those 1111s if this resonates. But again, I think as we do this just kind of allows us to continue to show up in a way where we continue to kind of like step into our higher self, step into our best self, step into a self where we continue to serve others, where we can teach others about the things that we've learned through our own lessons. And again, just allow ourselves to be able to meet more of ourselves. It's hard to meet more of yourself when you're kind of in a place that is like nothing but comfort, So again, even for those of you here, like, let me know how this card resonates with you. Your stories of success, your stories of the journey are inspiration for the team. So I'm sure every single one of us has kind of gone through a similar circumstance where we've experienced, again, kind of like the living with the vices and the things like that, and the living with addictions and stuff. And then we've continued to kind of like allow ourselves to move beyond it. And again, knowing that that's possible within inside each and one of us is a way to be able to kind of, again, find that new hope, find that inspiration where it's like, oh, if they can do it, we can do it. If they can do it, I can do it. So again, leave your comments down in the chat and leave some affirmations about how this resonates with you as well. And I can see some comments already. Rachel leaving a comment in the chat, being very candid, saying, guys, I quit smoking cigarettes, switched from coffee every day to tea instead, and stopped ordering out food. Also lost that shit relationship you're talking about. Not the same lady I was. There you go. So again, that's like a huge example just from Rachel speaking there, from her own experience, again, of what's possible when we kind of like choose to make that choice. And again, like, that's the thing, like, no one can make that choice for you. Like, only you can make that choice for you. But it helps when you have the support of a team and the community, and just reminding you that, like, that is what your soul wants. Like, your soul will stay in places of stagnation and comfortability for periods of time, but that in itself can almost be seen as like a chrysalis, as something to be able to grow beyond. So again, just kind of reading over the comments here, this is a very powerful card. Again, the Eight of Cups, all about being able to observe negative patterns within our life, patterns that aren't really serving us, and being able to make the choice to consciously like move into new realms of our being through willpower, intention, and again, like, forgiveness and love for ourselves. So yeah, follow those dreams. All right, just reading over some of the comments here, and again, leave your affirmations, and I can see those 1111s. I know a lot of you resonate with this reading. So again, this goes hand in hand with the overall theme today being like balance, Kristen says, I've been working hard to let go of that which does not serve me. Difficult to do, but I understand it will be for the benefit of the long run. Yeah, so again, this is kind of like making the harder choices now that are gonna, again, kind of like serve the longer story. It's kind of like this idea where, again, like, it's hard, but it gets easier. It's hard. You do it every single day, but again, eventually you create momentum. Eventually you create consistency. Eventually you create new habits, and it gets easier because it becomes like natural for you. So it becomes a new part of your rhythm. So what rhythms do you want to create for yourself? And again, that's not to say don't ever give yourself any sort of indulgence into the things that you've enjoyed from the past. Like, just do it from a mindful place and a moderation. It's not the things themselves that are bad. It's just the relationship that we create that can ultimately kind of be unhealthy, but it's up to you to be able to observe and be responsible and be aware and make that choice for yourself. So again, you know, it's like if you're addicted to this or addicted to that, and then every now and then, you know, you're like, you know what, like I can still responsibly like go back and enjoy a little bit of this and a little bit of that, without kind of getting sucked into that abyss. So it's up to you. And sometimes you would actually want to, just to again kind of be able to like train yourself on that balance if it feels relative to you. Okay, so yeah, Cups 8, very, very powerful card, calling all of us out on our bullshit, basically. And again, calling us into our power. So reading the comments here. Just seeing the comments from above. I know there's a few comments here that I didn't get to read just yet. You guys are addicted to zucchinis. Yeah, that's what I figured, right? Like, what are you guys addicted to now in a good way? So you can share that. What are the things, what are like the healthy things you guys are addicted to right now, if you want to share, even just as like an affirmation. So just for fun. So Mr. Nolan says, when I quit drinking, it made me face all of my emotions, feel them, and deal with them. There you go, Mr. Nolan. Powerful stuff. And thank you for sharing, rooting you on. Okay. Lee says, I know I'm gonna have a serious talk to myself tomorrow about this. Beautiful, awesome. Thank you again, everyone, for just adding your support. Super appreciated. Awesome. Julia saying, I used to have a problem with weed. Definitely use it as a coping mechanism. Not anymore, thankfully. Good for you, Julia. All right. Kristen says, I've been working hard. Oh, I already read that one. Absolutely. Letting go of that which does not serve me. Benefit for the long run. I'm not sure which comment Star Soul left that I missed from earlier. Did I miss something from earlier? I'm not sure. Oh, okay. Addicted to celery. Oh, that's what the comment was. Okay. Yeah, Lee says, my dad and my 3 cousins have died from addiction. I've learned so much from their lives. Lee's sending you so much love. Thank you for sharing. Stella says, I have a cannabis prescription, so it is complicated. I just switched to decaf. I try my best to find balance. Exactly. And that's the thing, right? Like, everything's going to be different for everyone. Like, what may be, you know, imbalance for one person may be normal for another person, right? But again, it's like you have to be consciously honest with yourself. Like, don't get to the point where you're just like clearly addicted to something in an unhealthy way and then just be like, this is okay, right? Like, you got to be honest with yourself. So, and again, that honesty will come from listening to your heart, right? Again, I like to kind of measure things in this way of like, is it serving me or is it just satisfying me? Because if it's just satisfying you, then that's where the imbalance may be, right? Opposed to like serving you and satisfying you, which is a thing. So where celery can serve and satisfy at the same time. Kristen said, I was addicted to my diagnosis and not allowing myself to grow due to those. Very powerful, Kristen. And again, it's all like relative. Crystal, or Morphic says, I stopped binge watching anime every night. Good job, Rachel. Was another comment from there. Yeah, I can imagine. Awesome. Good job, everyone. You guys are addicted to Brussels sprouts. I'm addicted to breathing. Addicted to meditation. I love that. I love the fact that you guys are just leading that. Addicted to validating people's feelings. I travel a lot and meet new people every day. Beautiful. That's awesome. Golden, delicious apples to replace my cigarette craving. Awesome. That's beautiful. Solomon, thank you so much for jumping in again. It was beautiful having you here. Super appreciate you being a part of the circle. My spirit guys are looking at me while I'm listening to you, right? All right, affirmations. Rachel, I engage in the practice of mindful moderation in all I do and consume. Beautiful. Mr. Nolan, this is how I look at pot. Am I addicted to it? No. Does it make my life better? Yes. It's like asking someone if they're addicted to their glasses. They don't need them, but they improve your life. Yeah, again, it's gonna be a different relationship for everyone. So again, it's like the whatever it is in itself. Like, the anime is neutral. It's your relationship with it that is ultimately going to determine, again, you know, kind of like where your growth is through that relationship. It's all about the relationship. So Yeah, definitely a powerful card, just calling us into being able to cultivate more mindfulness with our relationship, really with all things. Look at anything and just be like, is this healthy for me? And again, not to say that you shouldn't just like take time to be able to decompress and watch an anime and, you know, like smoke a little bit of cannabis, have a little bit of drink. Sometimes we need that. Sometimes like it literally is like serving us just to be able to kind of like decompress in some ways, and then we keep showing up. But if it's interfering with like your like responsibilities and everything like that, that's when you kind of know that like, okay, there's something I have to observe here and something I have to like be honest with about. So beautiful job, everyone. Great to see you guys resonating with that card. Very, very powerful message. So awesome. Yo, thank you again, everybody tuned in on TikTok and Instagram. Again, reminder, if you guys want, jump over to Instagram to be able to join in on YouTube. We're going to take a bit of a break. Again, the next reading that we'll do, let's work on getting that next Patreon sign up, and then we'll do that next reading for the next person to sign up for the Patreon and see if we can get that next Patreon sign up by 10:30. And yeah, and so I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. And we'll do our next reading once we've gotten a new Patreon sign up. So in the meantime, we're just going to kind of like chill out here for a bit. I'm going to rest my voice, rest my throat. And yeah, just huge shout out to everybody for joining in and for being a part of the team. And drop those 1111s if you guys have been having fun tonight. And if you're a new listener, drop a 333 in the chat. And make sure you're subscribed. Click that bell dingy icon, the button, whatever it is. So I'm gonna get some more tea in a second. Ooh, man, that green tea gets super tart when you get to the bottom of the cup. It's just like concentrated flavor. It's pretty intense. So all right. Okay, I'm just gonna put on my tea and then I'll come back and then I'll jump on here. I may just be on here for a little bit longer. Like, I don't know. Like, this may not be a long broadcast, but if we can get some more readings, then some more tarot signups, then we can keep diving into the readings. But thank you again, everyone, for just holding space. I appreciate you guys being here, for being a part of this. So I'm just gonna turn on the kettle and get some more tea. So. All right. Okay. So I'm just taking a bit of a break right now. Yeah, let's just kind of like hold off on doing some readings. Once we get a new Patreon sign up, we'll do a reading. If we don't get a new Patreon sign up in the next little bit, that's totally fine. Though I may just be like wrapping up the broadcast a little bit early tonight. And again, that's also just to rest my throat. And again, a reminder that you can sign up for the Patreon at any time. So super appreciate everybody being in here. Again, if you guys are signed up for the Patreon, even if you want to increase your pledge, that is super appreciated. And then you can jump in and help facilitate the next reading as well. So awesome. Yeah, and please feel free to just kind of like chit chat amongst yourself in the chat. Whew, it's hot in here, man. So I'm just resting my throat right now. And shout out, we got about like 14 people tuned in right now. That's awesome. Yeah, you guys can just like, yeah, just keep hanging out. It's totally cool. All right, team, still keeping an eye open. Sweet, awesome. All right, shout out to Kristen. Kristen just updated their Patreon pledge. Kristen, thank you so much. That's super dope. Awesome. Let's give a nice special thank you to Kristen. Awesome. All right. All right, team. We'll get into we'll do at least one more reading. But I may be ending it early tonight, so. Oh, awesome. And huge shout out to Starsoul. Starsoul just updated their Patreon pledge as well. Huge shout out. Thank you. Thank you again. Go Kristen and go Starsoul. Let's give a nice thank you to them. So again, team, let's get right into our next reading. Kristen or Starsoul, you guys can decide. Like, if one of you wants to even just like decide who wants to help facilitate the next one. I think Starsoul's probably just jumping back into the chat. But yeah, you guys can decide. And I imagine, like, did we want to do the Lightworker deck? I think we were probably gonna do that one because we haven't done that one. But yeah, this may be the last reading for tonight, just because I want to be able to jump off early and be able to save my voice. But I appreciate everybody jumping in and just adding their support. And a reminder, you guys can join in on the Patreon at any time. So let's just make sure we got Starsoul back in the chat, and then we will take a moment here to confirm which deck we're doing and who wants to facilitate. That's funny. Both of you guys like updated at the same time. Oh, you guys are sweet. So, all right. Starsoul saying, go ahead, Kristen. So Kristen, do you want to help facilitate it? Even if Kristen wants to, like, you guys can like pass it off to someone else. So whatever works. That's super sweet. I appreciate it, everyone. So Starsoul, make sure if you haven't yet, make sure when you connect to the team chat, just be able to confirm for me to be able to be involved as a leading member if you would like. So, all right, so we'll just confirm here. And again, yeah, we'll still work towards the Patreon goal. Like, I'm aiming towards like 200 by the end of the month, which sounds like crazy. I don't know how that's gonna happen. That's a lot. But again, we'll keep working towards that objective. So thank you again, everyone. So all right, okay, who wants to facilitate this one? Let's figure that out. As I just sip on the tea. Again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, if you click the link in my profile, you can join in on YouTube. All right. Just reading you guys' chats. You guys are ridiculous in a good way. All right. So Kristen was just asking if someone else wants to facilitate, but otherwise we'll just Kristen can just do it. That's fine. So let's just confirm, and let's use the Lightworker Oracle deck. And again, this I think this will be the last reading for tonight. I'll let you guys know as we go, but if we do get more Patreon signups, that's totally cool. Let's both do it. I don't know how you guys are gonna do that. You guys are gonna like coordinate typing now at the same time? Good luck. I mean, I'm open to it. All right, okay. All right, okay. Who's gonna help facilitate? We literally need one. We need one person, or I'll just like volunteer someone. So, that's funny. Just reading you guys' comments. I like that. Some of you are like on like a video call with each other. Like I think Autumn and Rachel are on video call with each other or something like that. That's funny. Okie dokie. All right, okay. Well, I am just going to start the process, and whoever feels called to say now in the chat will say now, and the first one who says it will be the one. That's what I'm listening to. So, open to anyone right now. Let's do this. So, and that can include Kristen and Starsoul. All right, so using the Lightworker Oracle deck. Thank you again, everyone, for just being here, for adding your support. And yeah, let's get into this reading. And this may be the last reading for tonight. Let's see. Okay. So for everybody here, just inviting you, close your eyes, connect with your heart. Just allow yourself to be in this moment. Just expressing gratitude, receiving gratitude for all the awesome people tuned in. Beautiful. And just focusing in on that intention of show us what we need to see. For everybody here, focus on that intention. Speak it with your heart, speak it with your mind, speak it with your words, speak it with your soul. For everybody here, take a few gentle breaths, and whenever you're ready, type now into the chat. And for everybody else, leave those wizard noises as we charge the deck. And so, within this moment, what shall we see? What mystery shall the cards let free as we continue to awaken within this path, as things continue to unfold through the past and the future unwind like a Mobius strip, as we continue to see all the treasures within. And so let us breathe into this moment, into this infinite gift, as we wait for someone to type now into the chat so we can get on with this. Here it comes any second now. Bloop 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 wee 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 shoom 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 shoom. Waiting for that now. Who's gonna type it? Somebody just type now. Like literally, that's all it is. Now, says Kristen. That was a quick one. Holy cow. All right. Ooh, this looks like a fancy one. Okay. All right. Okay. So, the card that we have pulled here is... Wow, interesting. Okay, this is a new card. I haven't pulled this card before. So, we have pulled card number 44, Seventh Ray of Ritual, Order, and Ceremony. Seventh Ray of Ritual, Order, and Ceremony. Wow, what an interesting card that we have pulled here. So, super cool card to be able to receive. So, allow me to open up here, and we shall take a moment to be able to jump into this reading. So again, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be the last reading for tonight. So all right, here we go. So this is again from the Lightworker Oracle deck. Oh man, this looks like a long one. Whew. All right, make sure I got my water ready. All right. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. You guys are all awesome. And let's dive into this card and see what message the universe has for us. So, Seventh Ray of Ritual, Order, and Ceremony. So, taking a look at this card, what do we got? Sweet Jesus. I don't even... Okay, so we've got like multiple figures. Most of them appear to be female. I think they're all female, and we've got like a woman with her arms here, just kind of like breast open, just a powerful kind of like energy emanating from within and behind her. Excuse me. That was like a tea burp. And the other people behind, in front of them, are kind of like, I don't know if it's supposed to be the same person in a sequence, but it's kind of like bent over, and then you got people kind of like down, kind of hunched over, almost like in reflection or meditation, or perhaps in solace. I'm not exactly sure. And you can see the kind of like flowing robes. Like, look at this image, and then they got like these like super like fiery kind of like Aries energy happening behind it. But the woman's also got like kind of like a smile on her face. So super powerful card. All right, let's dive into this. And again, I think this is going to be the last reading for tonight, so let's make it a good one. Here we go. Again, if you're tuned in, this card is for you. And thank you again, Patreon supporters. Thank you again, everyone. Let's dive in. Number 44, seventh ray of ritual, order, and ceremony. When the gift of the seventh ray enters your life, something new is being formed, something that will benefit your world. There may be an increased interest in magic, ceremony, and ritual for healing purposes, resonating with high-frequency violet light and Archangel Zadkiel. The seventh ray also helps transmute energy from lower to higher frequency. It is a spiritual cleansing agent that allows the truth of spiritual freedom, empowerment, and choice to be seen, felt, and restoring hope and joy to the heart. The seventh ray is very active upon the earth at this time. All of humanity is being affected by it. The seventh ray is the push-pull between the old and the new, the life that has been and can no longer continue in that form, and the new life that wants to evolve from the old. It honors traditions and ancestral wisdom that serve new life. When the seventh ray enters your life, you are asked to balance your attachment to what has been with an openness to the new. It is time to fearlessly question what has been, honor what continues to hold value for you, and dismiss what no longer serves you. Wow, like every single one of these cards, this is like basically like the cards that we've got just kind of like summarized into one card. The seventh ray also creates from invisible, intangible spiritual energy. These are inspired solutions and synchronicities that seem to come out of nowhere. They are signs of the divine order happening. The seventh ray brings an alignment with that divine order, and the more you are willing to invoke and allow that energy to bless you, the more your life will align itself with the genius of creativity, solution, loving opportunities that the universe wants to bring into your life. The gifts of ritual, order, and ceremony are ways to attract this energy. Conscious ceremony done in service to unconditional divine love feeds a need for sacred embodiment. It is the hunger within the soul that may seek to feed through religion and others through less conscious rituals of addiction. Ritual can be something that keeps you stuck or opens you to ascend. Like, see, literally, like this is like the exact same card, just like explained from a different perspective. Choosing a spiritual practice to engage on a regular basis, creating your own spiritual system, will help you call the genius of the seventh ray energy into your life. Your spiritual practice might be a daily prayer followed by a short conscious dance or yoga session, a meditation, a walk in nature, or some combination of these. Find what works for you. Do that regularly. Make it a priority. You can invite spirit into your life through a simple and ordered system that you do on a regular basis, even if only for 5 or 10 minutes a day. Then the new life, the new you, the order that brings an expansive idea to life in the world can happen. The challenge of the seventh ray is to not become obsessed with the future, with the new, to the extent that you forget about the valuable aspects of what already is. It is about developing what has value, not rejecting outright anything from the past. The past can teach us wisdom and help us create a more loving future if we allow ourselves to balance our passions for the future with a respect for what has been. The gift of the seventh ray is the ability to live as an embodied divine presence. For humans who don't trust or even recognize the love of the divine in their heart as yet, those who do are great supporters. The seventh ray empowers us to use loving ritual to invite divine presence to fill us and our lives. It also teaches us how to use our consciousness to clean up our own energy field and the energy field of the world around us, so the divine can show its face more clearly. The comfort of this can help free all beings from anguish and suffering. And then there's an invocation, and I'll read that a little bit later. So yeah, okay, so I don't think I have to say anything about this card. This card is just like the exact same message that we've literally reiterated over and over again, but we'll talk about it a little bit more again, kind of from like this perspective, which is like a little bit more of again, just kind of like the higher perspective. So again, you know, this card is really about being able to like anchor in these energies that are going to transform ourselves and transform the world. And a big part of this is about being able to create the channels and the pathways for this energy to be able to flow. And so that is why this card is really encouraging us, where it's like in the past, you know, it's like, okay, we need to balance. Got it. Okay, we need to be able to like observe like our habits and everything like that. Got it. This card is about being able to kind of like really create like the new rituals, the new routines, the new energy channels. So what are those going to be? You know, like what are those channels going to be that are going to help bring in more of that like spiritual awareness, spiritual presence, spiritual energy? So this is a very, very powerful card that really just invites us to be able to help create new routine, new ceremony. And again, that can be something as simple as meditation within your own. That can be journaling. That can be going out into the woods. That could be dancing in the woods. Again, finding a practice that kind of opens your heart, connects you with nature, connects you to your heart center, and just allows you to kind of continue to kind of like clear out the dirt to be able to be a better conduit for this energy to be able to show up through. So again, the seventh ray, that's kind of like a phrase. Like there's many different rays, so to speak, within one of the concepts of like the shifts in consciousness, or kind of like frequency bandwidth, so to speak. So the seventh ray is kind of like this like final initiating ray. I don't know how many rays there are. I don't know. Does it go higher? Are there? This is the final card in the deck. That's what this is. So this is the card that's kind of like, yo, this is it. This is what we're working towards. Again, this kind of like moving into this more fully embodied version of who it is that we are here to be. And as we do that, we continue to anchor in these energies for the collective. So again, you know, this may sound like kind of like we're repeating things in a little bit of a way, but this is a very, very powerful reminder that also reminds us to be able to like understand that like we are here to embody these divine gifts. We are here to embody this divine presence, to be able to share our magic, to share our love, to share our vision, to share our inspiration, to step into this role of leadership that can help others do the same, that can help others continue to awaken their own spiritual awareness, which is again going to kind of help them shift from like old patterns into new patterns, from old habits into new routines, new rituals that are really going to deepen our connection with ourselves, with our spirit, with the earth. So again, this is a very, very powerful card to be able to receive. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but please feel free to like leave your affirmations there below. It is the hunger within the soul that many seek to feed through. Others seek through religion, others through less conscious rituals such as addiction. Ritual can be something that keeps you stuck. So again, this is a card that's just kind of acknowledging that the soul has like a hunger, and that soul will kind of eat whatever you give it. I think that's kind of the thing. So it's like the soul's hungry for something, and then sometimes it's just like, oh, we'll just give it video games or something like that. But what does it really want? Like, what is like the best thing to be able to feed the soul? So let's focus on feeding it again, kind of like the healthy relationships, the healthy experiences, the opportunities that are going to invite us to be able to expand our creative expression, to deepen our experiences and to expand our awareness, to cultivate that wisdom. Wisdom being a very powerful word. Again, you know, the knowledge gained through direct experience, because that's ultimately the own thing. Is that it's about like your spiritual like your own religion, your own spirituality is what it is that you are here to be able to create your unique relationship between yourself and the world around you. So the seventh ray empowers us to use loving ritual to invite divine presence to fill us and our lives. So honestly, even doing these broadcasts, doing our weekly team podcasts and stuff like that, little things like those are rituals. Coming together as community, coming together as team to be able to practice sharing, being mirrors for each other, talking about like the things on our journey, the hard times, the good times, the growth, the expansion. The seventh ray empowers the loving ritual to invite divine presence to fill our lives. It also teaches us how to use our consciousness to clean up our own energy field and the energy field of the world around us so the divine can show its face more clearly. The comfort of this can help free all beings from anguish and suffering. So what can we do? Again, you know, asking the question to the team, what can we do to be able to, quote unquote, help the divine show its face more clearly? So again, a lot of kind of like this shifting from 3D to 5D perspective. For those of you who tuned in and saw my TikTok that I made today, which again, like the 3D is kind of being in this perspective of separateness. You see two things and you think they're separate. The 5D or the higher conscious, again, seeing the unity, the interconnectedness, and through this observation, through this way of being, again, that is literally kind of like the divine kind of speaking through us. So the divine, how can the divine continue to show its face through you, show its face through your actions? How can you be a messenger? How can you be a conduit for consciousness, for the divine? So very powerful card. Leave those, drop those 1111s if this resonates with you. But again, this is kind of calling us into that place of knowing that like this power is already within us. So as we work on ourselves, as we kind of clean up our energy fields, as we develop new habits, develop new patterns and everything like that, this will naturally, again, kind of like call us into this potential that we are here to be able to share, that we are here to be able to experience, and we're doing it from a place of service as well, because as we grow, consciousness grows. As we expand, the universe expands. Invocation. I now accept of my own free will the blessing and grace of the seventh ray ritual, order and ceremony, and the assistance of the unconditionally loving masters of the ray, the violet flame of Saint Germain and Archangel Zadkiel. I open to the magic of creativity, divine genius, and the ability to translate spiritual concepts into real-world experiences for the greater good. May I discover and use my innate power for conscious and loving ritual and ceremony to enrich and invite spiritual practices presence into the world. May all beings feel safe and consciously held in a loving divine order according to the great plan of love. Through my own free will, so be it. So even feel free, like leave some comments down below. What are some rituals? What are some practices that you guys do to help you kind of like connect with your divine? And then how does that kind of continue to help support you? So feel free to leave some comments down below. But yeah, that's a very, very powerful card to be able to invite us into, again, the everyday ceremony of awakening our consciousness. And knowing that as we do that, like that is like what helps assist with the collective shift. Affirmation, says Rachel, I come to an end of my reasoning and jump willingly into the realm of inner guidance. Beautiful. All right. Are you guys calling me Tarot Dad? Is that what you're calling me? I don't. Anyways, seeing those 1111s. Good job. Awesome, everyone. Thank you so much. Beautiful. All right. All right, so yeah, go ahead. Let me know how that resonates with you. Just sending you guys so much love, so much good vibes. Again, I'm curious, what are the things that you guys do, even just like on a regular basis, that help you kind of connect with the divine? Kristen says, meditation for an hour daily and an hour in the evening to work on my spirituality and creativity. Beautiful, beautiful. Star Soul says, it's a confirmation of what we're already working towards for me. Absolutely, right? Like, and again, I think that's a big part of it. It's sometimes the cards aren't like, hey, this is what you need to do. Sometimes the cards are literally just like, hey, this is what you are doing, you know, keep doing it, right? So in a lot of ways, I think for, you know, for those of us who have kind of been like along this journey and kind of doing the work, this is a card that's just kind of saying like, you're doing it, you know, keep it up. So awesome. All right, team, we'll keep reading those comments down in the chat. I'm going to wrap up the broadcast in the next little bit, but again, huge thank you to everyone for joining in. Reminder, you can join on the Patreon at any point. Contributions only go through on the first of each month. So again, for those of you tuned in on TikTok and Instagram, you can click the link in my profile to be able to join on our team chat, and also to be able to join on our Patreon as well, where you can join as our leading members. Aloha to Trome, aloha to Tarot Charmed Reading. Yo, more tarot readers. Awesome. For those of you tuned in on TikTok, if you click the link in my profile, you can jump over to YouTube. However, we are just about to wrap up the broadcast. This was the one we just read. That was from the Lightworker Oracle deck. So it's not a tarot deck, but it is an Oracle deck. And yeah, we use that one every now and then. And that was a good one. That was a good reading. I really enjoyed that one. That was some powerful inspirational confirmation and affirmation that came through there. So beautiful, beautiful, awesome. Awesome. Thank you again, everyone, for joining in. Are you guys trying to convince yourself that this is a cult? Good luck with that. So all right, just checking the comments here. Sweet. All right, team. Yeah, we're gonna wrap this up in the next minute, but it's been a joy. We've been on here for 3 hours tonight. And yeah, thank you again, everyone, so much for joining in. A reminder, you can join on the Patreon when it works for you. Or actually, we've been broadcasting for like just 2.5 hours, give or take, which is still pretty dope. So go ahead, team, leave your comments, leave your affirmations, leave your gratitude down in the chat. And again, if you haven't already yet, you can connect to our team chat. The link is in the info for this video on YouTube, or for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, it's through my profile link. And yeah, stay tuned. We got some more awesome stuff coming your way. Our team broadcast tomorrow for our team meditation, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. EST. And I know some of you will be joined in for that if you're able to join in live or afterwards. So beautiful. All right. This is definitely not a cult, you guys. Stop saying that. This is clearly not a cult. This is just a team. That's what this is. It's a team of people who are passionate about helping change the world. Now, buy your crystals. No, I'm just joking. All right. Star Soul, you can connect to the team chat again. Like what's your username on the team chat, Star Soul? Make sure you type in the public chat just to confirm that you want to be added into as a leading member on the rest of the team chat. So you just have to like manually instruct me to be able to let me know. So oh, I'm just seeing you guys like post in the chat the screenshots of Rachel laughing her head off from Autumn. That's funny. All right, beautiful. Yeah, we're all just gonna go like start our own civilization somewhere. That's the plan, right? Of course, you guys, this is the start of it right here. Well, the real plan is to, once we get 1,000 supporters on Patreon, I'm gonna buy that UFO off Kijiji, and then we're gonna fly around and have UFO parties. So. Sweet team. All right, we're gonna wrap up this broadcast. All right, Star Soul, there, you're just added as a leading member there. Beautiful, awesome. Welcome more officially aboard, Star Soul. So. Yeah, reminder, if you guys want to get your Lumerian Light Guardian crystals, signing up on the Patreon does give you the discount for that. And Rachel's got one coming her way. I haven't shipped it out yet, but that's going to be in the orders. And as well, Stella actually also ordered a Light Guardian crystal. So, and again, a reminder, you can also get like the Auralites. Here's like the cute little Auralites. These are like the oldest known crystal on Earth, 1.2 billion years old, pretty old. Those are also available through the shop, and again, discount for Patreon supporters. So, all right, team. I know everybody here is just like wanting to hang out all night, but we'll wrap it up here. And yeah, and we'll be back again. I may be doing another tarot reading later tonight as well. So all right, okay, cool. All right, team, thank you so much, everyone, again, just for joining in. Send you guys so much love for all who wish to receive. It was another fun time being here tonight. Again, we're currently at 165 on the Patreon. Let's work on reaching that 169 goal as soon as we can. So if you got any friends that you want to invite to the Patreon, let me know, and then I'll give you guys like affiliate points for like additional stuff that you can include into your orders and everything like that. So yeah, just sending so much love. Yeah, oh yeah, Rachel, I know I have to reply to your message. We'll figure that out, Rachel. I'll do that. So perfect, and you'll get that aura light. So sweet. All right, team, wrapping it up here, sending everyone so much love. Thank you again for being a part of the shift. Thank you again for being a part of the team. Please tell your friends about what we got going on here. Again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, be sure to click my profile link and you can join in into our team chat and also the Patreon there, and make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube. And yeah, stay tuned for more broadcasts. We may be doing another one of these tomorrow night. We'll work towards our 169 goal. And yeah, every day is a new opportunity to be able to help shift consciousness. So thank you for being a part of it. So much love, everyone. See you in the future. Don't stay up too late, and have a beautiful night. And maybe we'll see you at the Dream Tree. So concluding the broadcast now. All right, see you guys around. Thanks again, team. Love you guys.